Children at the aquarium be like, no way, it's Nemo and Dory. 7-year-old boys when their teacher tells them to sit next to a girl in class. Kid 1, are you repeating me? Kid 2, are you repeating me? Stop it, stop it. Kid 1, I'm an idiot. Kid 2, you're an idiot. Kid, I broke my leg. School nurses, applies ice on it. It still hurts. School nurses, kids when a toy is sitting untouched for hours. Kids, the minute someone else starts playing with the toy. Kidnapper, your son has been kidnapped. My parents, wait, seriously? Oh, thank God. Kidnapper, this cream will make you look 10 years younger. 9-year-old kids. 13-year-old me thought this cleaned my shoes. I still used this to clean my shoes though. Kids beg you to play hide and seek and then hide like this. Me as a kid, jumped from twice my height, had a little bruise. Me as an adult, slept an hour in wrong posture, suffering from scoliosis now. 10-year-old me googling Bobs, my FBI agent, who just got over his massive hub addiction. Police officer kidnaps his own son and solves the case to get a promotion. The officer. 2-year-olds when they see an electrical outlet that they can put something in. I may not have a brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea. Kids thinking they're slick by using private browsing. When they find out routers log their history anyway. Trick or yeet! I shout to the children when I open the door. Yeet! One says confusedly. I shrug. Yeet it is. I throw the child. Remember that kid from Stranger Things? Feel old yet? Why don't kids play outside nowadays? Today is take your kid to work day. At least he's having fun. I told my kids I couldn't find the hot cocoa powder, to which my 4-year-old said, maybe someone took it and hid it behind my bed, which is a suspiciously specific theory. When I'm 100 years old, I will be dead. I think I will look like this. Rest in peace. Kid, dad knows everything. Well, chill. I don't even know if you're mine. Chromebook. 5 seconds after kids find out it can't play games. When your kid hits you with the, okay boomer, so you hit him with a car. Children after reading the entire menu. I am once again asking for chicken nuggies. Me as a kid looking through the window and watching my imaginary hero doing parkour. My dad horrified at the man chasing our car going 90 miles per hour. Are emojis turning kids gay? Challenge complete. How did we get here? 8-year-old me figuring how they got a car in the middle of a mall. 6-year-old me holding my breath after passing by a person with a little cigarette. 6-year-old me waiting to die after I accidentally swallowed a little bit of toothpaste. Child seats now versus child seats back in my day. Kid on TV has a temper tantrum. Me remembering all the dumb stuff I threw a temper tantrum over as a kid. When the kid who ate 34 crayons returns from suspension. I wish I was brave as my kid who just ate 0 bites of her dinner and then asked my wife for a snack 6 minutes after the table was clear. Remember these kids? They're grown up now. A couple kids just dug this deep hole at the beach and it just keeps attracting a ton of other boys. Is this the hole? Yes. Kids who are good at memorizing are good at school, not smart kids. The problem is when you are not good at memorizing and not smart and not creative, you're just a blob. 16-year-old me seeing myself in a supermarket security camera. 12-year-old me making an email I will use for the rest of my life. We will make a better world for our children. We will make a better... Screw you entitled brats. Kids, not happening. Nobody. Kids on Xbox Live. David, 16. Racism, anger issues. Gamer, humans and their kids. Son, you must be a doctor and keep up the family name. No, I want to become a writer. I won't listen to you. Reptiles and their kids. Son, I know you were born half a minute ago, but I'm going to eat you unless you manage to get away. I did not know reptiles did this. Deal. Life problems I anticipated as a child. Quicksand. Ghosts. Life problems I did not anticipate as a child. The crushing sense of failure associated with botched social interactions. When I was a kid, I literally thought that English was the only language, and people speaking other languages were still learning and trying their best. Kids who used to do this have depression now. So this kid at a park today, I was sitting on a bench eating a donut. Duncan is bomb, by the way. When I saw 2 little kids in front of me, a boy and a girl. The girl smacked the kid in the face and said, I can hit you because I'm a girl, and you can't hit me because you're a boy. And then put an L on her forehead. Then the boy grabbed a stick and said, boys can't hit girls, but sticks can, and just whacked her on the head. I laughed so hard that I almost choked on my donut. 10-year-old me sitting at the top of the stairs, listening to my parents talk smack about me. 8-year-old me getting a good whiff of that gas station gasoline. Parts of a playground versus what they felt like. Hold up a second. Why does this kid have tomatoes in his backpack? When your mum still isn't back after leaving you in the line, and it's almost time to pay. Make-A-Wish kid asks to give Jake Paul one good punch in the face. 10-year-old me. I can't wait to grow up. I bet it would be amazing. Adult me. Psst, 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 psst. Serotonin. So this kid fell asleep during class today, and school is over. We decided to play a little prank on him. Duncan, the year is 4015. You've been sleeping for 2,000 years. We've been able to keep you safe for this long, but they're coming for us. If you wake up, run. Trust nobody. My girlfriend wanted to have a conversation about being too childish, but she didn't know the password to get in. Teddy bears. Protecting innocent children from monsters under the bed since 1902. Why is this an option? Children avoiding getting murdered. This kid will go far in life. You fall on the playground and you scratched your knee. Solution: get up and deal with it. Me and some other kid making eye contact through the openings in the No, never happened to me. 7-year-old me drinking medicine without making facial expressions. It was always the banana one. The yellow, I didn't like it. What the quiet kid thinks they look like. Best trade I've ever made. Watch for children. Me as a child. I'm going to be an astronaut, an engineer, and a doctor. Me now. I just want to be happy. Gen Z kids who refuse to download TikTok are just young How? Hardly. TikTok is it's interesting. As a child of God, what's your next move? To thank him. Bruh, these kids were running a lemonade stand and I walked up to them and said, "Got any grapes?" And this kid looks me in the eye and says, "We prepared for people like you," and pulled out a bowl of cold grapes. This kid, I am 4 parallel universes ahead of you. Kids getting thrown off right and left. Total carnage. Wails of anguish. Not one adult gave a single damn about it. The kids just had lunch and they don't really need any sweets right now. Grandparents. Mum tells kids they need to stay still to charge glow-in-the-dark PJs. Yeah, they have to stay still for a whole night. To all the kids who never found their name on a keychain. Kids in 2069, after watching Finding Nemo, be like, "Where are the turtles?" When the annoying kid says, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." But then you beat him with a dictionary. As a kid, I used to think that telekinesis really was possible if you could focus all of your brain power to it. Obviously, I was a stupid little kid. Too stupid to unlock telekinesis like everyone else apparently. This kid in my class made a death joke, and when a bunch of people said, "That's not something to joke about," he said, "No, it's okay. I have depression. It's like the N-word." 9-year-old me thinking my parents died because they are taking longer than usual at the store. 13-year-old me walking to school after giving it a 1-star review on Google. 2 kids get locked in supermarket overnight. Eat ungodly amount of food. It hurts to see other people living out your dream. A kid born in 2005 is now 20 years old. Let that sink in. How the hell? I was born in 1998 and I'm turning 19 this year. That's your personal problem. Random kid in class versus 5 minutes later. Florida kid eats straws to save the turtles in the ocean. This kid's Nintendo 3DS was stolen, so his classmates came together to buy him a new one. Kid's 20,000 BC. My drawings will become famous for thousands of years to come. Kids now. I got in trouble for drawing a pee-pee on the school bathroom stall. Kids in the backseat when they signal to truck drivers to honk their horns, and they do. Kid writes with left hand. 1950s teachers. 5-year-olds 10 minutes after you ask if they need to go to the bathroom, they pooped themselves. Kid shows signs of a promising future. Literally every mental illness known. Casually approached child. Kids imagining what life would be like at 40. I am 40. I have wrinkles and grey hair, and I would have a walking stick to help me walk. I am 40. I am turning old. I just left work because I cannot manage going up and down hills. I know I will die soon. 6-year-old kid to 16-year-old me. Hi sir. Confused me. You know, I'm something of a sir myself. Kid has an opinion different from his parents. Parents, in terms of respect, you have no respect. When a kid gives you invisible food, this is some serious gourmet. The teacher told kids to draw their mum's hobbies. My mum likes drinking. Today I asked a kindergartner if Friday was his favorite day of the week, and his response was, I don't know a lot of things. I'm confused all the time. Same, little man, same. I took my 8-year-old to the office on Take Your Child to Work Day. As we were walking around, she started crying and getting very cranky, so I asked her what was wrong. As my co-workers gathered round, she sobbed, Dad, where are all the clowns that you said worked with you? This Nordic woodworking company specializes in making modern-looking treehouses for kids. I like the idea of this, pretty cool. Does not look like a treehouse though, at all. Me and the boys looking for the ball stuck under a car. Me in 2nd grade making me's of literally any- This is insane. You're insane, Mira. Kid emailing me an autism test. Me, who got all questions right. 7-year-old me switching on the car light for 1 second. My dad. Boy, have you lost your mind? Cause I hope you find it. These kids are about to learn so many new words. I don't care what mum said. Granny said I can have it. When that annoying kid running around the restaurant finally hits his head and starts crying, lady in Walmart told her son to put that thing back. So loud, I almost put my stuff back. I respect your honesty, Molly. If I found a pot of gold, I would poop. Mums be like, you'll grow into it. Only in the UK would kids hang on to the bus for a free bus ride. I have 9 kids. Oh, hey mum nuzzles. I have 8 kids. What does it mean to go touch grass? Was just told to go that means you are touching grass. Good job. You don't know internet slang. It's sad to see one of your childhood heroes sleeping on the streets. Not safe for work sites, keeping children from seeing not safe for work content. When you were a kid and your dad just kept yelling at you to hold the flashlight better. I have no idea what you want me to do. Only 2000s kids can relate. Alphabet soup for kids. Alphabet soup for doctors. 10-year-old American kid after owning his first gun. 6-year-old me when my parents came to pick me up early from school to go to the dentist. My time has come. 6-year-old me when it's cold outside. Any age me when it's cold outside. There's a kid on my nephew's soccer team that just thinks he's a dinosaur, so he's just out there screeching and biting other kids on the field. I love my nephew, but I'm only here to watch Velociraptor. We have your child. What are your demands? Are you out of your mind? The daycare's closing soon. Come and get him now. A child. What's that? Me, holding an Oreo milkshake. It's spicy, you won't like it. Me in childhood, for no reason. Some children at 18. You're going to be a father. Wait, what? Me at 18? Oh no, my plants died. Take your kid to work day. Therapy dog edition. The kid that sat closest to the door at the end of class. This kid was already in 2016, in 2005. This might be the first dab caught on camera. You think people were dabbing in like 500 BC? Sees kids in Heelys. Me at age 10, 15. God, that looks so cool. Only 2000s kids will understand. 7-year-old me who can understand because my parents didn't buy a new PC. Parents, kids are more depressed these days. I wonder why. Kids, you destroyed the economy for us. The earth is literally dying. We are going to work until we die. And on top of that, something unrelated I don't get. It's those pesky iPhones. Bored as a kid starter pack. Pretty much every kid who had one of these chairs. Birth versus death. Gifted kid, OMG. A burned out disappointment. Only 40 BC kids will understand. Life before smartphones. Gaming as a kid. Of course I lost. I'm playing against adults with better PCs. Gaming as an adult. Of course I lost. I'm playing against kids with more free time. My kid got invited to a birthday party, and I don't like that kid's mum, so I bought a musical instruments set that includes a drum, a recorder, and a harmonica. I'll see you in hell, Bethany. Me as a kid. I bet in the future we'll have flying cars. Present day. Please do not sit on the fence. 4-year-old me pretending to be a submarine in the public pool. 11-year-old me realizing I needed glue for the school project tomorrow. There is no unique experiences there. No, I don't think there is. 6-year-old me trying to force 2 magnets to touch with the same poles, even though they aren't going to stick together. 90s kids moving their TV from one room to another. If your kidnapper takes longer than 15 minutes to get gas, then you are legally allowed to leave. Subscribe for more legal tips. Future kids studying the history of 2020. As kids, we all used to turn into mechanics when this happened. My kids just discovered Minecraft, and instead of killing the animals for food, my daughter is building them all farms with beds and food, and is trying to figure out how to pet them. Waiter, kids under 12 eat free. Dad, my boy just turned 11 yesterday. Actually, I'm the kid who gets expelled for bringing a sword to school starter pack. Never argue with children. A little girl was talking to her teacher about whales. The teacher said it was physically impossible for a whale to swallow a human because even though it was a very large mammal, its throat was very small. The little girl stated that Jonah was swallowed by a whale. Irritated, the teacher reiterated that a whale could not swallow a human. It was physically impossible. The little girl said, "When I get to heaven, I will ask Jonah." The teacher said, "What if Jonah went to hell?" The little girl replied, "Then you ask him." Your kids are going to do things they shouldn't. It helps if you marry someone with a sense of humor. Gifted to his parents. Interrupted house. Hey kid, you may remember me from the alphabet. I am Z for zebra. Kids from kindergarten when they've been standing in the corner for 2 minutes. Kids when their parents are a bit late to pick them up from kindergarten. Kid, I want to be Batman when I grow up. His parents, oh no. Holy crap, my balls popped. dubstep, kids who actually draw memes, kids who use computer programs to make it look like they actually drew a meme, kid with disability uses it to his advantage for a Mad Max cosplay, substitute teacher has a mental breakdown, the class. You have not experienced true fear until a poster falls down in the middle of the night. What's the worst pet to have? Dog, cat, a kid. Stop holding on to people just because you have a history together. But they're my kids. Pajama day at school. The kid who sleep holding my little man's hand and asking him the age-old question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Dad, I want to be Superman. Lucky I have 2 other kids. Good morning, Mum. Let's get this bread. Please send me a picture of the bread you want. I will see if Walmart carries it. I love you. I don't know what's more awkward, answering Dora or sitting in silence while she stares at you. Teacher, explain why you have the exact same answer on the test as your classmate. Me, because the questions were the same. I am above the law. When you're a kid and you find a cool stick, children are strange. I just had 7 young boys on my front porch demanding to see my cat. They had a leader. I opened the door and before I could greet them, he said, "Where's your cat?" I know he's in there. We see him in the windows and he's real fat. I don't know what to do here. Well, show them the cat. 17-year-old kids when I'm 9. 17 when I'm 17. 17-year-old kids when I'm 25. 13-year-old me. Don't tell me what to do. Me, no. Could someone tell me exactly, in chronological order, and with great detail, what I have to do? Kid in 3rd grade. Says ladies first to a boy. The entire class. Then you're a buttle. But men just before. Home sweet home. Autistic child area. When I grow up, I can buy all the games I want. Yes, but you won't have time to play them. Kid next to me. My phone. Me, pretending to be Wolverine as a kid, with butter knives between my fingers when I fight my nemesis, Dr. Wool Outlet. We salute you, sir. A kid at my school has a panini maker, so he sells paninis to other students and everyone calls him Dan the Panini Man. But the campus police people shut him down because it's not legal to sell food if it's not a bake sale. So now he's Dan the Paper Towel Man, and he sells paper towels, but with each paper towel purchase, you get a free panini. Kid gets chronic depression. Schools, it's a phase. Kid, where's hoodie because it's cold? Schools, emergency meeting. The only reason I'm fat is because every time I get with your mum, she makes me a sandwich. Shut up, Richie. You don't speak to my mum or anyone watching this video's mum like that, huh? You have the eyes of a Victorian-era child that was drowned in the river because he was the illegitimate child of a wealthy baron who just could not afford the slate upon his name. Young kid at skate park. Are you a professional? Yes. But you're a grown-up. I know, it's weird. I have a skateboard. I hope you never outgrow it. Okay, I've used this in the Lego meme video, but it fits. First name, Riley. Age, 12. Name of creation, Worm. Kids growing up used to have the wildest names for their grandparents. I'm going to visit my Opie and Omi this weekend. Like, bro, what? What do you guys call your grandparents? 7-year-old kids today. iPhones, iPads, AirPods. Me when I had an iPad. I did do this though, maybe when I was like 7, yeah. Kids will never understand how... They will. Yeah, they will understand. Children, starving, dehydrated, National Geographic. I really hope they actually give some food to these people though, who they're recording, on like water. Or they somehow like do donations. I haven't looked into this at all, by the way. They probably do this. No more child actors. Children don't deserve to be exposed to Hollywood. From now on, all children will be portrayed by adults walking on their knees. Mother, Sarah, it's 10 o'clock bedtime, sweetie. Hugh Jackman in a blonde wig with pigtails. But mom! Kid, I'm 8. Okay. I was born in 2012. Me. 2004 seems so long ago, because it is. Kids, what does hell look like? Me. This is a Spotify carriage. We know daylight savings equals darker commutes. Connect your Bluetooth to this carrier speaker and... No, that sounds like an awful idea. No one. Babies on plane. Annoying. When I was going to see that Godzilla statue on the way back on a 14-hour flight from Japan to London, there was a kid crying for like half of the flight. Are you kidding me? I was thinking about jumping out, just like seriously just asking for a different seat. It was really bad. I was wearing headphones as well. 6-year-old me watching Tom and Jerry in an early morning, not knowing what the scene is all about. 14 years later. Yeah, so these are basically cats who have died in that bag. They were killed. Rest in peace. That's sad. It's quite sad, the messages behind these shows and children's programs, because they all can be quite deep. Like Tom and Jerry were actually best friends. Tom just had to act like he hated Jerry. Whilst, they'd get a cat which would actually kill Jerry, and then towards the end, when they both couldn't find, love, they both ended up on train tracks. Dark humor is not a personality. Teenage boys. How I imagined my teenage years versus how I'm spending them. Teenagers in 1999. You're the best thing in my life. You too. Teenagers in 2023. Robot given. Teenager like AI. Got depressed and drowned itself. Yesterday I got asked out by not one, not two, but 0 girls as always. Minor problem happens. Teenagers. Should I die? Mums, when their teenage son mentions a girl for the first time. Dads, when their teenage daughter mentions a boy. How I saw teenagers when I was a kid. What I now realize myself and other teenagers are really like. This onion won't make me cry. Telling terrorists to stop won't work. Teenage girls. Teenagers. Schools don't give us enough time to sleep. Also teenagers at 2 a.m. My late teenage years. Expectation versus reality. Social media ruined my life. So you agree teenagers shouldn't have it? When you're 13, you want to be 15. Trust me though, when you're 15, you want to be 13. Nah, I'm 15 and I want to be 18 so I could start doing what I'm 18 and I want to die. Teenagers, tired of being harassed by your stupid parents? Act now. Move out, get a job, pay your own bills. Do it while you still know everything. Teenager girls. Constant flood of people messaging them in their DMs. Most admittedly, just people being in the mood. Teenage guys who just want their existence to be acknowledged and to be given even the slightest amount of attention. They're empty. The amount of times this gave me the cleanest uppercut after pushing it underwater was a joke. When you want to text someone, but the voices say to shut up. The table full of teenagers made my heart happy. Thanks. That's a nice way to tip. Miracle teenager survives on his own for almost 6 hours with no Wi-Fi. Great. Yet another unrealistic body expectation for teenagers. OMG, shark. Dude, we are sharks. Oh, right. This is how I feel about teenagers. Someone put dish soap into their fountain at my college, bruh. Reddit. Little kids doing Fortnite dances. Teenage girls doing TikTok dances. Multi-track drifting. Hollywood actors with themselves as teenagers. Teen 60 BC. I have returned from gladiator training and am ready for my arranged marriage. Teenagers 0.1 seconds after their parents leave. Whoa, where is his hand? Married couple in China discover they appeared in the same photograph as teenagers. The way the world works is beyond me. There aren't many universal truths, but one is that teenage boys like to jump and tap stuff that's high. Street signs, beams, archways. My younger brother just drew this earlier. Should I be worried? Yes. Childhood. Upgrade. Teenage years. Damn, go back. Adulthood. I said go back. Oh man, the phone sure has been dead for a while. Dude's been left on red since the Civil War. I'm not a teenager at all. I'm 32. I work so hard, man. It never gets better. Turn back now. Stop the clock. Save yourself. Skibbity toilet or whatever the hell you kids say. My teacher nailed his student phone to the wall for using it in class 20 years ago. It's still there to this day. Nobody. Teens in 2008. 14-year-old falls pregnant after flu shot. I don't think that's how it works. I've just taken my son's phone. How do I access the history? It's impossible. Oh, thanks. Thanks, guys. So recently my father made a post on my account asking how to access my history. Thankfully, you guys said it wasn't a feature on Reddit and that it didn't save. I'm grateful you guys had my back. My parents were fully supportive of my teenage goth phase under the condition they could take pictures to laugh at when I was older. It's hard being a single mother, especially when you have no children and are a teenage male. Oh look, they've started to make teenager mannequins. Teenage boys, the top of door frames. People that walk fast are reported to be less happy. Teenagers, I am speed. Mum of 3, 30, is often mistaken for son's sister and a teenager. 112-year-old man, just one more year and he is a teenager again. These for me. YouTube in 2023. Go watch too many TikToks. Her brain probably can't handle a video longer than 6 seconds. The family I babysit for bought me a car for my 18th birthday. So thankful. Buy me a car or I'll tell your wife about us. Smoking isn't cool. Acoustic cancer. Electric cancer. When you're a kid, you think coffee is the most adult drink. Then as a teenager, you think alcohol is really the cool adult drink. Then you finally become an adult and realize that all along it was water. Water is the ultimate adult drink. Teenagers refusing to smoke. It's mango flavored though. Parents. Our kid is a teenager. Now I'm afraid soon he's going to be doing the deed. Drinking and going to parties. Me in my 20s. I wish I was the monster you think I am. Teenager is accidental millionaire as he wakes up to find £8.9 million in bank account. These are the kind of accidents I'm looking for. Can this teenager use a rotary phone? Nice! The next episode better be, can this boomer use an ancient medieval loom? Last night, our eldest teenager refused to go to an event we bought tickets for and was exceptionally rude. So we left them at home and took the router instead. It had a great time. I shouted because I hit my neck really hard after swan diving into my bed. And Apple really did me like this. Baby crying. A sound has been recognized that may be a baby crying. I think I know how to solve racism. Get rid of everyone's skin, then everyone will be red and pink. Oh, and also everyone will die shortly after, so then no one can be racist. Hey teens, buckling up is totes yeet, yo. Teenagers desperately looking for a personality to adopt. Emo bands, lyrics about how hard life is. 13-year-olds on vacation with their parents. Do you speak teen? Apparently I don't. What does that even say? Dubstep? When your fake ID works. That's because you look 34. No one. 14-year-old teenagers in Netflix series. The science teacher getting ready to say Uranus in front of a new generation of 14-year-olds. Inspirational Instagram page. Every time I open my eyes, I can see 14-year-old girls. Mom, I just wanted to tell you that Mother's Day wouldn't be possible without me. I'll be waiting for my present in the living room. Love, Joshua. He's out of line, but he's right. Taking Netflix and chill to a new level. One wrong move and that TV is sending you to God. 14-year-old student builds an atomic bomb as a science project. Letting my teenage daughter shoot the AR for the first time today. Teach him young and teach him right. Me, a teenager, watching as my country falls into economic and government shambles, knowing well my adulthood will suck as a result. This is fine. Swan dies of a broken heart after. Why would you smash? Why? What is wrong with some people? Instagram. He belied with the 14-year-old girls. The tears just keep flowing. It won't stop. A California teenager named Steven Ortiz traded up an old phone on Craigslist for different items until he eventually acquired a Porsche. 14-year-olds know. Haha, you don't have a girlfriend. No, she is from another school. You don't know her. 14-year-olds in the Middle Ages. How is your wife? Good. I had a 10-minute long conversation with a girl without any awkward pauses. Everyone reading this? Impossible. If gay means happy, then I'm pretty straight. Checking your phone repeatedly when you have no friends is like opening the fridge expecting new food. What teenagers looked like when you were a kid. What they actually look like. Tide Pod Challenge. Teens are eating detergent pods and posting videos online. I told my teenage niece to go get me a newspaper. She laughed at me and said, "Oh, uncle, you are so old. Just use my phone." So I slammed her phone against the water killer spider. Teens then. I just walked 30 kms, killed 47 men inside the fortress we just conquered. Time to go home and arrange my marriage. Teens now. Mom, Brett called me a simp and now I'm depressed. Teenager kidnapped children who have to work on his Minecraft farm. A teenager from USA kidnapped 10 children. Police announced on Wednesday that he had promised V-Bucks to the children. He locked them in his basement where they were supposed to work on his Minecraft farm. Someone stole a urinal. High schooler confirms he's made nearly $2 million reselling PS5 consoles. Everyone. Teenagers need to focus on more important things. Teenagers. Talks about politics, feminism, racism, sexuality, discrimination. You're just a teenager. You don't know what you're talking about. Hold on. This whole operation was your idea. Teenagers, when they wear backpacks with one strap, been spending most of our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Teenagers in real life. Teenagers according to Hollywood. Teenagers according to animes. My mom driving me to Hot Topic when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, this boy cooked me dinner at his house. It was lovely. Then his dad came home and told me about the terrible date he had. He described the woman and a few key details. I sat up straighter and asked the name of his date. It was my mom. Overheard a teenager girl ask her dad to explain what started World War II. He tried to play it cool, but I could see it in his eyes. This was the moment he had been waiting for. When you overheard some teenagers referring to 90s music as classics and oldies. Whatever, man. When you're underage and lied your way into the army, and it's not the adventure you thought it was. Bro, I'm straight up not having a good time. There are real teens out there who think discovering Nirvana is a special achievement. Isn't that kind of the whole point of Buddhism? Scientists find the way to transfer depression into nuclear energy. 14-year-olds after watching a sad Bart Simpson edit. When my dad was a teenager, he accidentally started working for a restaurant that was a front for the local mafia. He flipped burgers for a semester, and then when he wanted to leave, one of the members pulled a gun on him and said he couldn't. "Oh, go away," said the guy superior. "Really, man? He just flips burgers and he's not even good at it. Let him go, you idiot." And that was my dad's brush with organized organized crime. Teenagers when they inhale cotton candy flavored lung cancer. Welcome to downtown Coolsville. Just got kicked out of my economics class for saying stonks. Creds to Oliver. Can I copy your homework? Yeah, just undergo medium grade metamorphosis so it doesn't look obvious. Study reveals 1 in 4 teenage boys watch VTubers regularly. The school actually burned down. This is why guys have trust issues. Don't do this. Hey, I know this is weird, but I've kind of liked you for a while. Wait, seriously? I've had a crush on you for 3 years now. I had no idea you felt the same way. It was for a TikTok. Sorry. When a teenager tells me they were born in the year 2000, this must be an old meme. Group of teens. Laugh. Anxiety. They're laughing at you. But I don't know them. But they know you. They know me. Thank God it's the weekend. Me Saturday and Sunday. Me as soon as I get anywhere. Damn, I kinda wanna leave. I'm 14. For the past few months, I have been posing as a 14-year-old girl in Discord dating servers. I tried to find older guys who talk to me in a disgusting manner. I have found 6 now, and they have given me their addresses. I call their local police and have gotten 2 of them arrested. We are in endgame now. When TV shows have characters who are teenagers, played by people in their 30s. 7-year-old boy. What is a suitable punishment for my 14-year-old daughter? She used my fabric scissors to cut my tortilla wraps. Whoa, Judy, calm down. My post-art plan is opening a grilled cheese cart. It will serve $1 grilled cheese made with white bread, bulk cheese, bulk butter, and that's it. Greasy as hell. No options, no artisan, no nothing. There will be no change. You give me $5, you're getting 5. You figure your own life out. Joji spitting facts. Being disrespectful to teachers isn't funny or cool. They're doing their job and you're just being cringe. Okay, so my mum can hear me say whatever under my breath, but can't hear me scream, yeah, after calling my name 10 times from the kitchen. Saw this in the garbage in the cafeteria on Friday. You're welcome, Mum. Pineapple pizza isn't that bad. Most of you hate it because social media tells you to. True, I love pineapple pizza. I don't care. I love it. I've seen too many schools being burnt down today. What is going on? Don't knock teenage pregnancy. I was a product of teenage pregnancy. And where would the world be without me? Remember when everyone hated Justin Bieber? Yeah. Tom Brady is facing backlash for posting pictures of himself poolside while kissing his teenage son, who was sitting in his lap. This makes me happy that I don't have a dad. Before I even check her profile, I'ma comment this. I guarantee there is an OF link in her bio. They were correct. Wow, adulthood really does hit fast when you spend all of your teenage years thinking you were going to die eventually. Let's not forget that my brother had a teenager photo shoot when he turned 13. Oh my. This is one of those things you do as a parent because you're mean and know that your kid doesn't know any better. And you know that like fine wine, this is only going to get funnier with age. Like a great big bottle of uncorked shame. My 14-year-old son agreed to come for brunch with me today and was followed by a walk home through the park. He spent the whole time chatting about school, friends, his future hopes. I could never tell him, but it's probably been one of the best hours of my life. A teenager at work asked me if I was old enough to have seen a PlayStation 2 in real life, and if anyone needs me, I will be quietly walking into the sea. Overheard a teenage boy buying a Valentine's card that said, "We are the same kind of weird." The shop assistant said, "Is this for your girlfriend?" And he said, "No, it's for my grandma." When scientists blame teenage depression completely on technology and social media. Hey, give a little credit to our public schools. K-pop singer. 14-year-old K-pop fans pretending to know the lyrics. So the alphabet, but it's boys lie, 14-year-old girls. My 14-year-old daughter just screamed, "No!" and slammed her bedroom door. After learning she will be menstruating every month or so for the next 30 to 40 years, and I can't blame her a bit. I'm afraid we can't give you this job due to the lack of job experience. But how do I get job experience? By getting a job? Sorry, I just had to flex my girlfriend because she means the absolute world to me. When you get to the car before your mum does, and you're waiting for her to unlock the doors. I got asked out today, and it wasn't because they liked me. No, it was because they and their friends were playing a game where they ask out a boy they find unattractive. I know this because I heard them playing it one day in lunch while I walked by. I hate this school. I introduced my best friend to my crush, and now they're dating. Every single man on earth. Getting drunk is gay because when you're drunk you can't think straight, and that's gay. Call me if you need anything. Also me. Teen burglar? No, I hope this is a fake news headline. I told a group of teens that when I was their age, we had to pay 10 cents per text message, and now they think I'm a liar. This is me in my room as a teenager, according to my mother. 13-year-old me when I had no real problems, but acted like this song was written for me. Education is important, but big biceps are importanter. If you are feeling ill, please stay home and quarantine yourself. Management. Teens return wallet containing $1,500 in cash after finding it in the street street. He was later rewarded with $150. I would have been rewarded with $1,500. Two teen girls asked me to take a picture of them, and I said sure. Then they handed me a disposable camera, and then tried to show me how to use it. Do not cite the deep magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written. Graph of teenage boys making poor decisions. Collective IQ. Number of teenage boys. Teenagers in boomer comics. Why won't this painting change? I don't get it. Meme bin. Not because it's a bad meme, but because I don't understand it. Meme bin. Clean up the meme and now put the meme bin in another meme bin. Teenage boys wear skirts to school to protest against no shorts policy. Teenager in a novel goes through incredibly stressful coming of age ritual. Fights against oppressive regimen. Juggles two love interests. Somehow looks smoking hot throughout. Teenagers in real life. Mom, I can't find any sock. This is my final year as a teenager. Well, until July. Wow. Today was great. La 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 la. I wish I was never born. My biggest fear came true. I really like you. Oh damn. I kinda have been liking you for a while too. Oh no. It was just for a TikTok where I'd confess to my bestie and see what they'd say. Oh, well, okay. Resisting the urge to send this to my crush. Write a short and sweet love confession, but the confession can only include Gen Z slang, such as slay or riz. Hey boo, gotta spill the tea and let you know, you're my ultimate vibe. You make my heart go cray cray, and my soul say yas. You slay my world with your style, your smile, and your mad skills. No cap, you're the riz of my dreams, the one who makes my heart do a TikTok dance. So let me keep it 100. I'm totally crushing on you, and I want to be more than just fam. Let's be each other's ride or die, and slay this love game together. What do you say, bae? There is only one correct answer. What happens in your head when you do 27 plus 48? Please respond, I'm trying to see something. I unironically adore weird teenagers who don't know exactly what the hell is going on yet. This kid came in for a job interview at this grocery store today, wearing very nice slacks and suspenders and a bow tie, with his little pink hair all done up, and I'm just like, oh, we gotta hire this kid. He kicks butt. Bro's going to groceries prom, and we couldn't stop him if we tried. Hard to get a teenager to take responsibility for anything they do wrong, when their closing argument is always, it's your fault for having me. My teenager is at that stage where one of her favorite activities is disagreeing at max volume. I shut my teen's bedroom door to make my house feel cleaner. You ever look in the mirror and think, you know what? I'm not that. No, I never look in the. No, this is so unhealthy. Guys, please don't do this. There was a song written in the 1630s that was performed only in the Sistine Chapel. The Vatican kept the composition of the piece secret for 150 years until the 14-year-old Mozart listened to the piece 2 times, transcribed it from memory, and produced the first unauthorized copy of the song. Me, time for sleepy, my garbage body. Hot, 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 no, cold, no, hot, bad, bad, throw up, no, hungry, no. Remember that mistake you made at work? Internalize it, never forget. Back hurt, yes, headache, yes, hot, yes, roll over at rap, 15-year-old boy imitates 14-year-old girl on social media to attract a predator, then proceeds to attack the predator until police arrive, where he then delivers a thumb drive of all the conversations, all while wearing a Spider-Man mask. Being a teenage girl sucks. Edit, I've seen some people say that they want to give me awards. Please don't. I already have Reddit Premium for a month. I have 10 awards already. Don't. Me with no awards. Am I cooked? So, I've been meaning to tell you this, but I think you're very beautiful, and I love your smile. And I know we've only met last month, but I really like you. Damn, that is screen recorded friendship, chat. At least you didn't get unfriended. Why do teenage girls go through a witch/occult phase? I had tarot cards and a spell book, and I knew a group of girls who messed with the Ouija boards, and another who had ghost hunting equipment. Oh yeah, Cindy's just going through that girly phase where she tries to raise the dead. How do you brush your teeth? Screw zodiac signs. Well, I put water, then the toothpaste, then water again, then brush. No point in studying for the final. You will need a score at least 151% on your final to get a 60% overall. Better luck next time. What song got you feeling like this? The lyrics versus the beat? Bro, look who showed up to class. All taken from my school's crime Instagram. My school burned down today. My guy friend gifted me a katana for no reason. Adam and Eve had to raise teenagers, but they were never teenagers beforehand. Eve holding the first ever baby. What the hell is this? Me with the family at a local restaurant. My 15 years old bro. He's got that drip. My dad. What? What are teens like? Is it memes? Memes about skeletons? Piss? Communism? This post is 20 times funnier if you imagine a CEO shouting it at his board of directors. This post is over 4 years old, and I think this website has definitely answered yes to all. A nice thing my teenage son does to help help around the house. Is it tell us when we're out of the junk food he likes? Having an anxiety disorder is like that moment where your chair almost tips, or you miss going down the stairs but it never stops. This is the best explanation. I feel terrible for everyone with an anxiety disorder now. Teenagers in 2000. I love you. Teenagers in 2015. I want to kiss you. Teenagers in 1854. The government cut off my hands because I stole a piece of bread. 1354. All the townspeople are pooping on themselves and dying. 30,000 BC. Ungo. 56 Maya. Engineering students who studied online in 2020. My son's 11-hour-a-day Xbox addiction. Mom says 14-year-old behavior spiraled out of control. You gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. I live my life by this meme. Do what you want. People are mean and will judge you anyway. Breakups hurt the most. Me. Ever had this? When you switch sides to face the wall. Oh, one of those pesky hangnails. I'll take care of that. Guys in elementary school after saying, let me see your arm really quickly, then pulling out this. Brain, break it. Why? Brain, you gotta. Damn, never thought I'd find a table lamp relatable. Please don't ask me to peel potatoes. What you see versus what your phone sees. How other people walk versus how I walk. Me. Obvious signs that a girl likes me. When you realize that the fidget spinner trend happened almost a decade ago. My mum's signature versus my signature. Free speech applies to everyone. Yay. Even opinions you don't agree with. Hey. Nobody. My ankle for literally no reason. The burger when you take it in the drive-thru. The burger when you arrive home. My life. That one moment. My life again. Every disease known to mankind. Me after looking up my symptoms for a cough. Me finally gets 8 hours of sleep. My neck. Yeah, but you did it totally wrong. Sometimes I'm late just because I stay like this for a long time. When you make an excuse not to go out and they come up with a solution. I think about this all the time. Bro, the president of 2085 is probably watching Cocomelon right now. The beauty of putting your phone down and just living in the moment. Everyone saying the math taught in schools is useless in everyday life. Me using y equals mx plus b to calculate the slope of the hill that my life is going down. Life is so tough as an adult. I could really use a soccer bopper fight right now. Me watching my dog stand on its back legs and say, no one will ever believe you, in perfect English. Me in the mirror recreating facial expressions I've made throughout the day to check if they looked weird or not. Me, don't let her know how awkward you are. Her, nice weather, thanks. I always be overthinking these. Yeah, and they will get you for this. I don't know why I hate it. Rubbing your eyes so hard that you enter a new galaxy. When you're out of your safe foods, so you just stand miserably in your kitchen like a sim. Max brightness at midday. Lowest brightness at 3 a.m. If life had loading screen tips. Can't pay back debt. Assume a fake identity to start a new save file. Drink alcohol to temporarily buff your confidence. POV. Everything in your life is falling apart, but you have it is what it is mentality. Me in kindergarten. I can run around for hours and still be full of energy. Me now. My back hurts when I take 2 steps. The fastest things on earth. Cheetah. Plane. Speed of light. Summer break. Not eating because I feel sick. Feeling sick because I'm not eating. Me. No one. Me in the shower. March. And the guy blinks and it's now September already. Yes, this is how time works. You go to bed. You find a good position to sleep. It starts raining. You don't have a flashback of something cringy you did 5 years ago. What people do in the shower. Cleaning. Hot water. Me peeing standing in the middle of the night when I don't want to turn on the lights. My head when I try to be serious. My head when I try to be funny. I can't stop laughing at this my entire day. A scheduled phone call. Me giving mental health advice. My mental health. Incorrect username or password. Bro, which one is it? Had such a tough day at work today. Stress about meeting. Relax after meeting. Me holding in my cough during class because I've already used 3 of my free trial coughs before I start getting side-eyed. When you set an alarm for 7 a.m. but also for 7:05, 10, 15, and 20. If I win the lottery, I won't tell anyone, but there will be signs. My clothes during the day at 3 a.m. When the FBI is searching through your phone for evidence, but have to go through 60, this is literally me. My brain every time I'm about to go to sleep. Let's review your mistakes. Here is a picture of me about to make the biggest mistake of my life. When you wake up before your alarm clock rings. Low-key me every time you show me something funny. Bro, look at this, I'm wheezing. I'm screaming. When you accidentally drop something heavy in the shower. The loudest sound ever, MP3. People who go on runs right after after they wake up. Me, just trying to process being alive when someone only messages you when they need something from you. When you wake up from a dream that was 100 times better than your real life. When you're reading in class and someone says, "Read louder, I can't hear you." When you don't have to set an alarm for tomorrow. Yes, the most relatable face ever has grown up. I watch anime because it's so relatable. 8 planets, 204 countries, 809 islands, 7 seas, 6 billion plus people, and I'm single. This is Leonard. He hides in bushes to escape his problem. Relatable. Cold butter. My poor toast. Annoying as hell. I think my favorite meme are the ones about insignificant but universally relatable things. Existential board games. Don't torment me. Who am I? Damn, the sadness really does last forever. Didn't mean to use that picture. Dentist fooled by patient who brushed teeth really well just before annual visit. Whenever I walk by a tree, turning in my finals like, just a little bribery. Why do people slap the remote when it's not working? Why does it work after you slap it though? What makes us human? Selecting all images with traffic lights. When you wake up before your friend at their house. Worst feeling ever. Me, my subtitles. I can't hear without my subtitles. Are you ready to live yet another historical moment? Please, I just want to raise a family in peace. When you have anxiety over something incredibly stupid, and you know it's stupid but the anxiety won't go away. Love this Egyptian figurine of a woman baking bread in the Brooklyn Museum. She looks exactly like me while I'm waiting for my food to be done in the microwave. Truly an eternal experience. Stop eating junk food and go outside. Screw you, Dad. 10 years later. Le Roman statue. Stop eating junk food and go outside. Genius. In Norway, up and not crying is a not uncommon response to "how's it going" type questions. And I feel that's a very reasonable standard to hold oneself to, especially nowadays. Where does it hurt? Headache. Stomach ache. This username is already taken. Me, walking down a hallway. My brain. Do it. Why? You got to. Okay. What's the most dangerous game to play? I'ma just wake up early and do it then. Being 30 in the 80s, being 30 in 2024, you find a good informational YouTube channel. Last upload 2 years ago. That one hair on my arm that moved. Me at 2 in the morning. They put their blanket under their feet. Not me. When guys show you a YouTube video, you have to understand that's a sign of great respect in their culture. You need to create an account to see this website's content, leaving immediately. When a baby passes you a fake phone, what's up with it? When you start speaking to someone new, and they have the same sense of humor as you. Why women live longer than men. Thank you for changing my life, cucumber. When a small band on Instagram follows you, so you follow them back to be nice, and they unfollow you. You just used me for land development. Girls' pockets, barely a phone. Boys' pockets, a whole phone. Khakis, Lego Millennium Falcon. Me, hits elbow, my arm. The scariest things on earth. The dark, clowns, sharks, serial killers, death. Not feeling your phone in your pocket. When you realize that pilots are just sky bus drivers and you've been thanking them for years. The only board meeting I'm willing to attend. I'm 35 and have not yet received a call to adventure, and I'm starting to worry I'm not a protagonist. When you're chewing mint gum and take a drink of water. ADHD is so funny because you try to make coffee and the next thing you know you have been standing in one spot in the kitchen for 30 minutes reading about Greenland. Couples making out in the hallway. Fight breaks out in the hallway. Kid walking too fast in the hallway. Teachers, no running in the halls. Me, I need to start saving my money. Friend, hi, you're right, we should go eat. When the page is taking forever to load. So you hit reload, and just that exact moment when you hit reload, it finally loaded. When you recognize him just by seeing his shadow. 18th birthday. Can't wait to be 21, can't, yeet. Time is fleeting. My days left on this earth are numbered. I decided to have my life story bound in leather. Oh god, what the hell? Another incredible tales. I watched this girl drop her iced coffee on my way to class, and the only thing she said was, I am so sick of being alive. Kid, when life gets you down, you got 3 choices. Give up, try again, call Luigi. Existentialist, no, you have to create a meaning for your life. Nihilist, I don't care. Just once, I want the opportunity to dramatically swipe everything off a table to make room for a giant map that I'll use to explain the plan. YouTuber, but before that, I want to thank today's me, 15 seconds plus. Lol, they played. When I build my house on The Sims and funds are low, do you ever just forget to hide your expressions for a minute? And then you're like, whoa, I did not mean to make that face out loud. Just saw someone my age being extremely talented. They ruined. No, take out the age part. Just, they ruined talent, they ruined. Doctors would be like, go buy this. And the pharmacist will give it to you. Me after I do the dishes. I have no will to live. I will have to live on. Anagram Robot 0.6. I find anagrams for stuff. I know I don't always make sense, but I'm getting better. Me, checks clock before starting an activity. My anxiety? Well, it's 9:14, which might as well be 9:30. That's basically 10, which is almost 11. I have to be in bed by 11:30, so I don't have time to start anything. Me. This call out was basically assault. My parents at my age. Let's buy a house. Yes, me at my age. I will never financially recover from this. Millennials and Gen Zers are pulling in bigger paychecks, but much of their spending power is fueling short-term purchases like groceries and vacations, not savings. Short-term purchases like groceries. You find a good show to watch that has 3 seasons. You finish it in 3 days, and there is nothing left to fill the dark void in your soul. Got my ticket for tonight. Stay home and do nothing and go to bed early. Me after texting literally anybody. This person hates me now. How antisocial are you? I can stay in my room for 3 days without getting bored as long as I have food and good internet. Now I understand her. We were too young to understand her. What did you do this weekend? Local man paralyzed after eating 413 pieces of garlic bread. The product on the website. The product when it arrives. Don't know why chickens start their day with screaming, but I understand. Life is all about perspective. Most toxic fandom. Life with a dog consists of 90% following each other around and wondering what the other is eating. When your cooking is so bad, even the ingredients are horrified by what you've done to them. They start looking at your history. Panic. It's my calculator history. Calm. It's my calculator history. My dad being smart and unfunny. My mum being dumb and funny. Me being dumb and unfunny. What I know about my own family tree. What I know about the family trees of fictional characters. Stand up, say your name, and 3 interesting facts about you. I'm Vazcol. I like memes. Confused Gen Z. What are you doing with your phone? Video, scum. It's the universal symbol for shooting video. Before you dumbwits messed it up with TikTok. When the teacher answers your question and you still didn't get it and you are too afraid to ask again. Guess we'll never know. To everyone who wrote, stay cool. In my middle school yearbook, I have some devastating news. First, I was born without my permission. Now, my future is in my hands. My teacher gives us a little piece of advice every time we walk in his class. Understand this poem? College advice. Sleep more than you study. Study more than you party. Party as much as you possibly can. I wish I was a kid again, so everyone would be proud of me for taking a long nap. When a person knows your name and you don't know theirs. Sometimes I talk a lot and sometimes I don't talk at all, but somehow both are embarrassing. This is legitimately the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. I live one of my happiest days when I'm having ice cream. When a car lets you cross, so you hit one of these. Robert Pattinson on the set of The Batman 2020. Me on the set of my life 2024. When you lose half of your property in the divorce, but you are petty as hell. Bed doesn't ask questions. Bed doesn't judge. Bed is warm and soft and is always there for you. It's nice. Removes phone case. The floor. Netflix. Enjoy this high school drama with some relatable ordinary kids. Relatable on every level. The 2 ADHD moods. I can't do it. I can't stop doing it. The 2 types of ADHD time. Now, not now. The 2 types of memory modules. I literally cannot recall the words that just came out of my mouth. I can recite the opening paragraph of every single Magic Treehouse book. My gosh, there's a word for it. Revenge, bedtime, procrastination. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. Learned a very relatable term today. Revenge, bedtime, procrastination. A phenomenon in which people don't have much control over their daytime life. Refuse to sleep early in order to regain some sense of freedom during late night hours. My pet who doesn't understand, it's begging for boiling water that's on the stove. Me 24/7. I am way too sleep deprived to deal with your negativity right now. Nobody, me disassociating in the middle of a conversation, always wanted to pull one of these and leave the house mysteriously. When you're in a boring conversation and you run out of damn and that's crazy tokens. If I have to go through any more character development, my character is going to develop into a villain. Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. How it feels opening the dishwasher and all the hot steam goes straight in your face. Gamers when they see a normal PC accessory. Gamers when they see the same accessories, but with pretty lights. My brain stops working when I see this. It's so much pressure, and for what? Never do anything you wouldn't want to explain to the paramedics. Millennials waking up in their 30s, wondering where their years went. Men really live like this and see no problem. You gotta pick a less appealing image to make your point because this is raw as hell. Life without picture jokes would be meaningless. But what they make you believe you need versus what I actually need. We had 24-hour Walmarts and $1 McChickens. We had it all. Controversial, but if I work a full-time job, I should be able to live in a 1-bedroom apartment by myself and not starve myself to make rent. But honestly, why is our generation so unhappy? Salaries don't match cost of living. Education doesn't guarantee you a job. Everything is so expensive. How many calories in uranium? 20 billion? I would never need to eat again. You wouldn't, it's true. Why are men so scared to talk to women? So I've been wanting to tell you, but I think you're very beautiful and I love your smile. And I know we only met 2 months ago, but I really like you. Lol. Mia took a screenshot. When you live in a city with a high crime rate, but really good barbecue. 3-star. I got stabbed here, but the food was fresh and drinks were tasty, but I got stabbed here. Would consider going back. Life is a parade of absurdities and pain. And then we die alone in filth. So yes, little girl, I shall buy a box of Thin Mints. Okay, the problem I have talking about my feelings is that afterwards they still exist, but also other people know about them now. This can't be right. After a couple of slices of pizza, my 3-year-old bursts into tears and says, "My mouth wants more, but my tummy doesn't." I've never related to anything more. It's so embarrassing how many times I've finished watching a movie at home and think, oh man, that was pretty good. Then Googling it to find out more, just to see it's actually universally agreed to be the worst movie ever and has a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. Me, accidentally types the wrong URL. Navigation bar. Every day for 15 years. Do you want to go to Face Boot today? Huh? You want to visit a boot with a face on it? Huh. You piece of poop. Is that what you want? Moron. I used to think, this is for a Pokemon meme video. Why is this in the folder which I downloaded the meme for? Mark he's a lizard. This confirms it. And why is it eating bread like that? Below is a relatable photograph of me performing my usual morning ritual of ingesting nutrients via the uppermost opening of my alimentary canal after a nighttime period of paralytic status in the usual human fashion. In 1984, a teenager named Zach Brown appeared on Wheel of Fortune and won $3,000. He spent all the money to buy a go-kart. He went on to become the CEO of McLaren F1 Racing. Why would young people put off getting married or feel hesitant about starting their own household? 2020 rates were 2%. Well, 3. 2023, 7%. Me, after seeing my old conversations where I expressed myself too much. No, I just vividly remember going through a really old DM with, well, a friend at the time. I didn't speak to him anymore. And it's so weird looking back at like these friendships who you think you're friends with them, but looking back, I was not friends with this person. Like they did not want to talk to me. There. Fun fact, I have eaten multiple rubber balls in my childhood because I thought they were bouncy candy. Delicious. Finally some food. My life goal was to make it 360 degrees around the top bar. Yeah, I was terrified of doing this. Toddlers can't tie shoes. Have to wear Velcro instead. Toddlers when they see a tablet. When you were younger and you did this in the shower. 2006 internet jokes that still make me laugh. Connect 1. Thinking about these ancient relics. What are these? Am I too young? Bio says 34. You're too old. I found my old iPod Touch from when I was 12 with 11 different Slenderman apps installed. When I grow up, I want to be a mailbox. 8-year-old me, after switching all the caps from my friends' colored markers. POV, you're 10 years old, and it's the 50th time you do this slide. Your knees and elbows are on fire, but the boys are waiting on the top. Feld, might delete later. Me, when I suddenly get emotions. I find it so funny that the reason why this ad stopped showing in front of films is because they pirated the background song and got sued for it. Remember when you were 10 and you would hang out with your friends in order to look at the computer together? Like, you went to their house and experienced the information superhighway together, and then left. How old are you people? Normal amount. I will never be funnier than our preschool naming its turtle. Turtle names. Tiny Tim, Grape Tim, Big Timmy, Big Tim. Sitting on top of the tables is one of the most satisfying things. I don't even know why, but it always just feels so perfect. It's your inner rebel satisfied at the fact you are breaking a childhood rule. Thank you, science. As you got older, what did you realize? Invest in your room. That is really your sanctuary. Should have bought a house in the 2nd grade. People cry doing their math homework. Some of you never had to spend hours in the kitchen table crying as your dad shouts, "What is 3 times 7? Describe your symptoms." Brother, I have felt like this since I was 12, unrelentingly. Patrick Bateman voice, my pain is constant. Nah, 3rd grade was wild. Shoddy would leave you because a dude was faster than you. Why am I nostalgic for my teenage years? Bro, I didn't even have fun. Yeah, but your back didn't hurt. My daughter asked me to spell my name so she can write it down, then hands me this. Please tell me this isn't a grave. If you've played in one of these as a kid, you're immune to the virus. I think a huge plane is crossing over my house. Wait, there are bombs! Ah! Welcome to Club Penguin. Please select your age. 8 and under, 9 to 12, 13 to 17, 18 and over. Oh yes, the ripe old age of 18 and over. Hate to ruin the fun, but penguin lifespan, 20 years. If you didn't try to stand on this underwater, you didn't go swimming as a child. Some things are more ancient than you think. I thought I lost $350. Then 3 months later, I found it in my 4-year-old's room. You may be old, but are you this old? Okay, this brought me way back. This was a big moment in my childhood. You may be old, but are you this old? Best childhood game ever. Make sure the balloon doesn't touch the floor. Were you a kid who stirred their ice cream with the spoon until it was soup, or were you normal? Sometime. These pencils were everything. Phone battery dead? Microwave it for 2 minutes to charge. Do not do this. You may be old, but are you this old? In middle school, every girl had these in every color. This is why I'm mad. Girls nowadays don't go through this stage. It's just not right. My brain, do it. Why? Just do it. Me. When I was younger, if you could run up the slide, you had skill. Nothing better than making dens as kids. And yes, if you didn't know the password, you weren't getting in. Don't sit too close to the TV. 2021. Who remembers doing this on the last day of school? If you had these when you were in elementary, you lived your childhood right. If your rubber has ever looked like this, you had a brilliant childhood. Back in the day, this meant get the hell home. Oh, you wanted to wash your hands for more than 4 seconds? Well, that's just too bad. Who would win? The hardest part of the human body, or some Chewy boys? Your childhood wasn't lit unless you've had fun in all of these places. Hey, I nearly got to experience the bottom left. This is life-changing. 2000s babies think they invented this. 8-year-old me, 15 minutes after telling my parents I couldn't go to school because I'm sick. Is it me, or did you guys have these temporary trailers attached to your school that were only meant to stay up for like 3 years, but it ended up staying for like 30? A California king isn't enough. We need whatever this is from Superman the Animated Series. We were so happy with so little. They framed it. The meme, they framed it. No way. What was the purpose of this? Teaches you to stay in your lane. I'm so glad I was taught to play the recorder at school. It's really come in handy during my adult life. I've lost count of the times I've resolved a quick situation with a quick blast of 3 blind mice. The definition of swag in 1999. This kid's probably a millionaire right now. If he kept the cards and didn't sell them. Who remembers writing using finger spaces? I remember using my finger as a ruler when I lost my ruler. The struggle was real. In the 90s, you could say, "Excuse me," instead of "excuse me," and get a laugh. It was wild. What's the hardest thing about growing up? Watching your parents get old. Who remembers this? I'd be on yellow and almost have a heart attack, while some kids would get to red and still not care. Quick and easy iPhone speaker. I just use my mouth. You know you're getting old when you can no longer eat the icing on a cupcake. I've been old my whole life then. Unless it's whipped cream icing. What is this? It actually looks pretty dope to me. As long as they have the same voices. Y'all weren't there. Nope, I was there. And I also had to sit on a special seat, like with bubbles on it. I was fucked up. The 4 horsemen of controversial foods. Pineapple on pizza is the only one which I'll enjoy. There is no goal with these things, just vibes. Everyone's grandma had a bowl of these, for no reason. We used to be a real country. A proper country. Does anyone else remember how absolutely unreal these were? I didn't really like them. Hey guys, wanna feel old? I'm 40, you're welcome. Peter Pan was an angel that held kids' hands on their way to heaven. Neverland. That's why they never grow up. All those kids were dead. Boom. Childhood ruined. 7-year-old girl. I love airports because they are like magic gateways to all the other places. Mom. Yes, they are. You could be a pilot when you grow up. No, that's boring. I want to be a suitcase. It's 1987. You've just been dropped off at the mall. What's the first store you're hitting first? I don't know. I wasn't born at this time. Maybe... like an arcade or something. This is what happens when kids grow up and get adult money, just when you thought all your fries were gone. A little miracle happens. You have a dentist appointment. Me. Kids now complaining about waiting 5 seconds for Netflix to load. Meanwhile, we had to live through this. So few people talk about this show, I'm sometimes convinced I hallucinated it. Mum. Mark got into med school, Jim went to Mars, and Gary made an app for dogs. What did you ever accomplish? Me. No tears, my butt. This was like acid. What was even the point of this other than running over fingers? 90s kids didn't have Tinder. We had this. Do you like me? Yes. No. Maybe. This is the house that Up was based on. It's in Seattle and was owned by a lady named Edith, who was a spy in World War II. This is why it was a mistake to replace all the old 70s metal playgrounds with safety plastic. Iron. You need iron or else. You know you're old when you remember as a child going to play with the computer meant drawing on paint, and it was awesome. And you always drew one of these bad boys and then filled it in. It's abstract art. This is honestly what I look like in my mind's eye. Some of you may get this. This is weird, but I remember the name of my best friend on Halo Reach back in 2012. Found him on Steam because he probably used the same name as his Steam account and added him. Oh my gosh, Kiwi. Yeah, it's me. So it turns out that he's lived 7 minutes away from my house in this state for the past 6 years. It's enough to make a grown man cry. Lol, you play Fortnite? Sorry, I only play real games. You also stare at the bathroom tiles and find images of faces and animals. Ah, the 80s, where a kid would blow their birthday candles over the top of an ashtray a foot away from an open beer, while someone held a lit cigar next to their face. Perfect Peter, always looking like he's about to drop a speech about why the working class should be hunted for sport. Who was more delusional? If you think Candace was delusional, you were not paying attention to the show. When I was in elementary school, we learned about a shape called a rhombus, and that was the last time I ever heard about that shape, ever again. I asked my 5-year-old what she wanted for dinner, and she said, not a burnt quesadilla, because in the summer of 2019, I overcooked one side of her quesadilla. Original Xbox. Toys R Us Times Square Shop, 2001. Remember, this is for children. The character designs should be safe and simple. Staff, sure boss. The Zoomer millennial age cutoff is whether you remember this. Images that capture 90s and early 2000s elementary schools. Yeah, I mean, actually, I remember that clock. That is weird thinking about it. If you played with these, your childhood was lit. Too many of you have strayed from these core tenets. You can use the internet for sports scores, chatting with women, taxes, football scores, chatting with men about football, Egyptian literature, sending electronic mail, 60s kids, grandma called, 70s kids, gran called, 80s kids, granny called, 90s kids, grandmother called, kids now. Out on a stroll today, someone was blocking the sidewalk, and my 3-year-old muttered, "This frickin' guy." In case you were wondering what toddlers from Brooklyn are like, I worked with these toddlers and preschoolers for 3 years. Sometimes I accidentally slip and tell a friend to say bye to an inanimate object. Say bye, bus, and occasionally they unthinkingly just do it. I'm glad there's a teacher version of accidentally called teacher mum. When I worked at Medieval Times, occasionally I would slip in real life and call people my lord. When did Freddo Frog go from a nice looking gentleman to a sadistic creature looking to eat your children? Cigarettes, it's what's for dinner. Okay, yay. Having one of these for about 3 years because the juice never ran out. Huh? 3 years? What the? Who made this? The fear of getting your name clipped on red. The 90s and thousands were built different because we really had classrooms full of these mini guillotines. If you did this, you had a wonderful childhood. You can only save one. Which one are you saving? CBeebies, BBC, Nickelodeon Jr., and Disney. Probably Disney. The good old days of McDonald's starter pack. The bottom right I remember. They were so fun. Soon, future generations won't know our ancient civilizations. Toys R Us and Blockbuster. When you and your friend are at your neighbor's door because you kicked your ball over the fence. The most important thing I've learned in life, and I can't stress this enough, you gotta make a salad in a bigger bowl than you think. I was today years old when I found out the bottom of a Gatorade Frost bottle is made to hold the cap. When your mum buys candy for the house and you have to hide a bunch from your siblings, who would win? Matilda versus 11. People are really saying 11 would win. I am perplexed. She had training and could barely wiggle a truck. Matilda's skills were sharp and precise. She had kids flying, electricity going crazy, multiple objects moving simultaneously. 11 doesn't want the smoke, just whipping up a little something. Call me Chef Boy, Yatid. 4 ancient evils, sealed away, forgotten by time. Those who remember hope the future will never know their wrath. People my age know immediately what this is. I remember Cartoon Network had a sweepstake where you entered for a chance to win Kevin's car from the movie. A 14-year-old kid won, and they delivered it to his high school. He's 37 now, and apparently still drives it. These were considered iPhones back in the day. I never got this, I was never this old. Do you remember when this was your only problem? When you saw this, you knew the movie was going to be lit. Today's kids will never know how lit crossover episodes were. I found that my grandma still has a vintage washing machine from the early 60s. There's a quote from Bird where he says he's known Big Bird since he was a little bird, and the thought of it makes my heart cry, so here's that. The Avengers. Yeah, okay. This makes me so happy. That's a very good, clear message here that is surprisingly hard to articulate. You go, dragon, you go. Disney died when they stopped doing this. Don't step to Miss Frizzle, unless you can pull at least 4 or 5. I am officially, they don't make music like this no more, years old. Yeah, I think we're going a bit too far back now. Remember that show about the ancient Chinese cats? There was a long point in my life where I could not for the life of me find any information about this show, anywhere, on the internet, and I was convinced I had hallucinated the whole thing. Trying to make them stop crying before you get in trouble. Shush, bruh, you can hit me back. It was an accident. You're an accident. These girls are hypocrites. They were literally an accident in a laboratory. What? Who do they think they are? Couldn't sleep last night. I kept thinking about how the Green Ranger had a dagger that was a flute that sounded like a synthesizer that's trying to sound like a trumpet. toilet, and he blew into it with his helmet on. You're too young if you don't know where this cake is from. Is it Max and Ruby? What are acceptable lies you can tell to your kids? When I was younger, my dad told me that the Titanic had a huge shipment of mayonnaise on board, and that it sunk on the 5th of May. That's why we celebrate the Cinco de Mayo on May 5th. One time when I was like 6 or 7, I was hanging out with a friend on one of these, and he told me a joke so funny, God, I wish I could remember, that I lost control and pissed myself. But I was on the upside, so my pee stream trickled down and wet his pants, and I couldn't stop laughing as I watched it happen. Even when he noticed I had peed my pants and got off, sobbing, I couldn't stop cackling. I hit the ground and rolled off, giggling and probably still pissing myself. I peed someone else's pants. I never saw that kid again. Sorry, kid. Thank you for sharing your story. They built a physical model of the island while developing the Lego Island video game. 1997. Kids today will never understand the struggle of losing this light. I am not that old. Wearing this hat grants a +7 Halo 3 multiplayer proficiency. Okay, I never really got into Halo. If you got into Halo, I'm sure you understand this, but I didn't. For those who watched Nickelodeon, who wins a fight in their prime? Jade was goth. Sam is a literal threat to national security. Kids today will never know what it was like to take a ton of pictures and have to wait a week to find out they were useless. Nickelodeon Studios 20 years ago versus Nickelodeon Studios today. This is depressing. Today's kids will never know how we were the original GPS right from the passenger side. And you better had read fast and correct. Print me the MapQuest directions before we leave. Oh, next time your internet doesn't work, you get the little chrome dinosaur. Click in the window and press spacebar for a little jumpy cactus game. People didn't know about this. I think I just downloaded this because I was so surprised people didn't understand it. It's not really childhood meme, but yeah. What? The kid in the seat behind me took out his life jacket and inflated it mid-flight. My 3-year-old is angry because the beavers keep chomping on the trees. My 4-year-old is watching Toy Story for the first time ever, and he just whispered to himself, "Alive toys." I knew it. The loss of innocence. Look at the trust and candor in his eyes in the first one. Gone forever in the second. Cry. Father's Day message. Kids, please don't rush things. We all love you, so always remember that, even when you're dead. My 3-year-old accidentally unspooked the entire roll of toilet paper, but don't worry, he fixed it. I was a stupid kid. When I first thought we were getting Chinese food, I asked my dad, "Do we have to go to China?" And he jokingly said, "Yep." So I cried for 20 minutes because I didn't want to move. Look out, world. My 4-year-old daughter is a tic-tac prodigy. My granddaughter drew me some artwork. Oh, hell nah. Told the kids I had trouble with handwriting when I was little, and 5-year-old asked if it was because pens were made of feathers. My kids are currently playing in real life Among Us. I only have 2 children. When you're not hungry for the whole pizza, but you still don't want to share. 4-year-old life hack. My daughter brings a checklist to stores now and just makes random checks. It makes everyone uncomfortable. That time I figured out how to take the lid off the vent and proceeded to get stuck in it. This is my first time babysitting, and I don't know where I went wrong, but my niece is currently asleep on her head. Do I call the parents or the exorcist? Both. Call both. My 6-year-old wants to be a doctor so she can help sick kids. My 4-year-old wants to be a porcupine so she can stab people with her butt. There's a kid snorkeling in the fountains at Market Square. I'm done. There was a spring in 2nd grade where every single recess I would walk out of, I would walk out to the most remote part of the playground, die dramatically, and lie motionless for the entire 20 minutes. I was trying to trick a turkey vulture into coming down to eat me so I could grab it as a pet. 6-year-old son had been asking me over and over, "Do you need to go to the bathroom?" I just found out why. I'm in church right now, and this is happening. Why is she drawing the devil? Explain how you know. I read the book. 2 self-inflating whoopee cushions taped to the bottom of his shoes. Fart shoes. Son, brushing teeth. Dad, why don't we have to brush our other bones? Because they're inside of us. And don't need it like your teeth do. I want to brush my bones. Me, son. I want to brush my bones, Dad. Please stop saying that. I'm glad we own 10,000 stuffed animals, so my toddler can fall asleep cuddling with a jar of peanuts. My child is desperately wiggling a loose tooth, so she can force Santa and the Tooth Fairy to meet and fight. Kids presented us with a written declaration of war. We would like to have some power in this house. Example, control bedtime. How long our walks are. When we get to watch TV. If you do not sign, we will declare war on the parents. Sign here, 7-year-old. Wait, do animals make babies the same way people do? Me, yes. 7-year-old, mutters. Oh my gosh. My brother can't stop talking about pineapples, despite never actually seeing a whole one before. My mum bought one for him earlier, and it hasn't left his side yet. What is the stupidest way you've injured yourself? When I was a kid, we had a blue carpet in the living room. I had just watched some movie or show where the characters jumped into a painting, and I started thinking maybe if I believed really hard, the blue carpet would turn into a vast ocean. So I climbed up on the recliner and swan dove into the floor. If you're gonna cry when I destroy you in Candyland, don't bother asking me to play next time. I asked the kids to not eat all the strawberries. Hey, at least they listened. Punching myself in the nuts until I'm famous. Day 4. Every guy randomly in the middle of the day. I felt a great disturbance in the force. First 7 hours of the car trip. Non-stop whining, fighting, and crying. Last 5 minutes before we get home. My niece really just had her 8th birthday at Target. She's obsessed. I knew her rock star lifestyle would catch up with her eventually. I got a 4-day suspension for bringing this lonely peacock into the school cafeteria. My niece ate my Too-Faced chocolate bar palette because it smells like chocolate. I don't know if I should cry or laugh. I found this in my son's dresser. Please God have mercy on his soul. My wife packed their outfits today, and she did not understand why I was laughing. At least they tried. I'm thankful for my family, God, and Miss Clary. I'm thankful for God and Jesus. I'm thankful for all the dead people because at least they tried. I need lots of padding to play Wipeout. He is wearing 30 diapers at once. My 5-year-old nephew asked how long my newborn needed to charge before he could go home. It's a heart rate monitor. I did my 6-year-old niece's makeup. Then, let her do mine. My son found a piece of brick outside and put it in a Ziploc bag for safekeeping and brought it inside. Needed a 2-minute break from my kids and they tried breaking into my room. Where in the dad manual did it mention how to stop a 3-year-old from taking bites out of drywall? He has decided that because his boots are camo, he shouldn't have to put them in his closet because you can't see them. My son was asked to combine 2 animals for his biology class. This morning my son said his ear hurt, and I said on the inside or outside. So he walks out the front door, comes back in and says both. Moments like this got me wondering if I'm saving too much for college. Super excited about my 2-year-old telling me he hears Nanny living in the walls. Oh cool, he's saying hi to her. He didn't want to share his leg hole. Give your kids controllers that are not hooked up. They will play like this for hours. Get you someone who looks at you the way my brother looks at potatoes. Listen turds, Caden is grounded. Please do not knock. First time home alone with the kids. My wife asked for an update, so I sent this. What the hell did the baby do? Nothing. So my auntie bought this so my cousin's head wouldn't be rolling around on the road, and this is what happened. My 1.5-year-old breaking down because I won't allow him to eat the diaper rash cream before bed. Things that made my toddler cry this week. I wouldn't let the dog drive him to daycare. The bath was too wet. He wanted syrup for breakfast, just syrup. His sister keeps looking at him. He wants shoes like his friend Jacob. There is no Jacob. How about your kid? The funniest thing that's ever happened to me as a parent is once my 2-year-old was having a full-on meltdown and accidentally kicked an electronic toy dinosaur and it went, "Can you feed me?" And my son, through massive sobs, goes, "No, I can't right now, dinosaur," and continued screaming. Circle the smallest number. Tell or show how you know the answer. $400 donation. Thanks. Wow, you're loaded. I'm sorry, this is his mother. He is a 5-year-old boy who accidentally purchased things on my account. I'm turning it to get it back. Lol. I told my 6-year-old his shoes were on the wrong feet. After a very long pause, he said, "I don't have any other feet." When your son comes home with this that he made in Holiday Club, apparently it's a hedgehog. That's something you hit zombies with. Instead of telling my 4-year-old to pick up her toys, I like to say, "Wanna play a game? Let's see how fast you can put all of this in there." Works every time. They told me to bring a prop for my graduation photo. I complied. My dad got my sister a bar of soap because he said her attitude stinks. When the kids at school have been picking on your kid and you've had enough of their stuff. Why my 3-year-old is crying. He doesn't want to be a mammal. Reason why my child is crying. The warning label on her car seat is touching her. While my baby sister's bag. Those Watsits. Note to self, be more vigilant to pack makeup away. We're bringing back the #Selfie Olympics in 2018 when your 8-year-old brother pulls off the greatest executed face swap you've ever seen. What were the dumbest lies you believed when you were a kid? Eating too much sugar will glue my butt cheeks together. Thanks, Mom. This is what I will look like when I am 100 100 years old. Sup, ladies? My sister and I were pulling weeds in the yard this morning, and I got distracted. What are you wearing? I wouldn't let him eat the rest of the football. Ah, you horrible parent. I hope my sister stays 11 forever. Okay, what's the Apple password and email to get into the FaceTime on the iPad? Why'd you say P*word? Because it has a bad word in it. I was bored, so I put this on and sat on my kitchen floor in the dark waiting for my mum to get home. And when she saw me, she screamed so loud the neighbors called the cops. This picture of me and my friends crowding around my Barbie laptop back in 2006 looks like a stock photo and honestly should be a meme. Should I hit send? Roast her, Tiffany. Oh, good. My son put my wireless headphones in a plastic container of water to keep them safe. Good, fine, great, how wonderful. Don't laugh, but when I was little and it was pouring outside, I thought that God and Satan were fighting. So I used to get my belt and hit the ground so I could help the Lord out. My 8-year-old daughter asked me if this was from a cow. I told her yes. So, was his name Chuck? Just casually taking a rest and watching cartoons. Hashtag weird kids. Why is your kid crying today? Mine didn't get picked in a game she was playing alone. How old are you? 7, almost 8. Please enter your real age. 9-year-old didn't want to try my lemon loaf, but when I rebranded it as lemon cake, he was interested. Amazing school year planned. This year, I plan to eat a burrito without cutting it in half. Kids make no sense. Wow, kid looks comfy. Dear Tooth Fairy, I am sorry that I swallowed my tooth again. Love, Jacob. Just another day at the ER. Age 52, 43, 9. The complaint was fidget spinner stuck on pee-pee when B was 3. I love you the mostest. I love you, my tiniest baby. I love you, my oldest mummy, my fossil mum. You are a fossil. My 3-year-old insisted on bringing a lunchbox full of clean underwear while running all of our errands today. This was not in any of the parenting books I read. Today, my 3-year-old niece cried because she remembered she hit her leg somewhere 3 days ago. She said she forgot to cry about her leg that day. Apparently, my 9-year-old nephew wanted permission to make a Facebook account, and my sister was like, no, you're 9. And then he figured out how to make one behind her back and got caught immediately when he sent her a friend request. Just saw a child call Spider-Man, the Fortnite guy. I just lost the will to live. We took her to a Justin Bieber concert. My kid looking over my shoulder as I sign an email. Kid, you're not a doctor. Yes, I am. What do you think I was studying for all the time when you were little? Oh, I thought you just liked reading books and crying. He doesn't want to go, even though we've repeatedly told him we're not going anywhere. Called my boys down for dinner and they shut up like this. When I was a kid, like 6, I thought that the reason actors got paid so much was because every time you wanted to watch a movie, they would have to act it out and stream it to you. See, this would make sense why they get paid so much. Yesterday in the park, I saw a toddler screaming, "Bad dog!" at a goose, and I can't stop thinking about it. My niece asked me one day why I always wear the same tattoos. Like, you guys don't know how angry I am. What did they do? I don't even know what that is. Keep your eye on the ball. 3-year-old in bathroom. Mummy, can I put this sticker on Dad's card? Me, in bed. Yes. Will he love it? Yes. My daughter's elementary school emailed this photo so parents can claim lost glasses. The school only has 190 students. Kid can spell war and kill, but not his name. I hope you kill a lot of people in the war. Jexamy. First day of 2nd grade. Can you imagine being Gavin's teacher? You randomly look over at his face and think, mood. Change into negative. Children in the dark make mistakes. Mistakes in the dark make children. The teacher. That kid. Recipe for inevitable toddler meltdown. 2 parts missed nap. 1 part wrong cup color. 1 part lost whistle. A dash of dead iPad. Marinate until 4 p.m. Serve inconsolable until bedtime. My toddler pointed at my stomach and said, peanut butter, and then laughed uncontrollably. I'm not sure what it meant, but it stung. Finally gets gloves on toddler correctly. Dies of old age. When my youngest brother was little, he was being bullied and went to my parents for help. They told him, sticks and stones may break my bones. They then asked him to finish the phrase and he said, but chains and whips excite me. He seriously thought that was the second part. He met Iron Man, out of costume. My 6-year-old brother's teacher asked the class what their favorite season was, and he said garlic powder. I'm sus Among Us. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head. When my son was 4, he saw a commercial that said, brushing alone is not enough to prevent cavities and tooth decay. So he made us start brushing our teeth with him. It's been 3 years. Nobody tell him. When I was 6, I used to think that your car could read your mind and would signal your turn for you. It took me until 9 to realize that you actually have to flick a stalk to use the turn signal. The 6-year-old flatly refused to believe that we used to navigate using maps made of paper. You mean like pirates? He couldn't get the last Cheerio on the spoon. He's stuck. Am I older than my older sister? Is Yahoo Answers still around? I don't even know. People were just so... I feel like I don't even know if people have got stupider. It bothers me the intelligence of animals is measured by how willing they are to obey the commands of a human. Same goes for students at schools. I just realized how messed up that is. Wow. I'm in Target and I hear a little boy point out a DVD he wants called Diarrhea of a Wimpy Kid. Wow. I have to confess, guys. This is honestly what I used to think it was called. I was this kid. My brother and his wife left a shopping list unattended. Their 6-year-old son got to it and, oh no, somebody farted and pooped and somebody stuck their butt in the toilet. Okay. When I was a kid, I was hospitalized because my Game Boy shut off in the middle of a gym leader battle on Emerald, and I got so mad that I took the batteries out and ate them. Oh my Game Boy SP has literal bite marks in them because my 5th grader bit down on it every time I lost a Pokemon battle in Emerald because I had anger issues, I guess. My brothers are funnier than I care to admit. Yeah, this is not a child, but this looks like a kid. Literally. A bit is crazy. The best thing about my school is the Danny DeVito shrine hidden behind the paper towel dispenser in one of the bathrooms. Technically correct is the best kind of correct. Come up with an equation that is true when x equals 7. Be creative. You can make the equation as simple or as complex as you want. X equals 7. Really? He deserves an award for this. I'm not sure this is a kid, but kinda looks like it. I am currently in a New York penthouse on the 80th floor. Beyonce's place is 6 floors below. I can officially say I'm above Beyonce. My mum writes my little brother's teacher a note, and he brings it back home the next day, and she wrote this. Mrs. Brinson, will you please contact me concerning a conference? Confirm? No, I am so sorry. Other mums have already asked me the same thing, and I got to do that, so no thank you. Remembering when I was 7 and found out that showers instead of baths saved water. So then filled the bath up with the shower head to save my parents money. Mum, said my 6-year-old, look at your child. So I looked, and there, sitting cross-legged in a miniature lawn chair, was my 2-year-old drinking A1 sauce straight out of the bottle. My 7-year-old just woke me up at 1 a.m. in the morning and asked if water is window juice. One time when I was 5 to 6, I asked my brother how French fries were made, and he told me, they inject mashed potatoes into the skins of the fries with a syringe. I believed that until I saw my mum cooking home fries for breakfast one morning when I was 8, your son. I'm not so upset about the single bites out of the cookie so much as when I caught him and said, stop. He quickly took one last bite. My mum was an infant school teacher. One of the kids thought God's actual name was Harold, as in, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. My 2.5-year-old goes to daycare with identical twins named Maria and Aurelia, but she calls them Maria and more Maria. So this guy's sharing all the crazy stuff he did as a little kid. When I was little, I would stab holes in my mum's Tupperware so that I could catch bees in them, and it really annoyed her because we literally had no Tupperware left. I took a knife to all of it. One time when I was in elementary school, I wanted to get out of math class, so during recess, I ate a bunch of random stuff I found in the woods, like dirt, and pine cones and sticks to try and make myself sick. When I was a kid and my mom took me to the beach, I used to dig giant holes in the sand. I'm talking 5 feet straight down until I hit water, and then I would just sit in there for hours until it was time to go. Parents of Reddit, what is the weirdest thing you've caught your child doing? At the time, I was pregnant with my 2nd child. I walked past the bathroom and I heard my firstborn son, who was about 1.5 years old, in there making coughing sounds. I go in to look and he was standing by the toilet coughing into it. I had horrible morning sickness and he was mimicking the throwing up. Until I was like 12, I was vegan because my parents were too, and one time in like 5th grade science class, we had to draw pictures of carnivores, omnivores, herbivores, etc. And like 5 kids drew a picture of me for herbivore, and that was the moment I realized I hated public school. Once I woke in the middle of the night to find my 4-year-old son standing beside my bed. When he saw my eyes open, he hesitantly asked, "Would you please come check my campfire?" Fortunately, it was still rather a small campfire, but I scrubbed kitchen walls for 7 days after. Recently, my 6-year-old daughter asked me why nobody else in her class had 2 mums or 2 dads. You know how most people write with their right hand? Yeah, marrying a girl is like being left-handed. It's less common, but not any worse or better. Oh, that makes sense. Perfect explanation. But how am I supposed to explain this to my kids? Kids aren't stupid. Maybe you suck at explaining. So one time me and my friend were playing rock, paper, scissors when I started to win every time. This eventually led to people gathering around, watching, and as I won for the 10th time, he said, "We're not friends anymore," and walked away. I never saw him since. One time when I was a kid, I ended up accidentally knocking over the lamp in the living room, which broke the light bulb and the lamp screen. I hid the lamp in my bed so that my mum wouldn't notice, and placed a wet towel over the broken glass in the living room, hoping it would soak up the tiny glass pieces. Imagine my surprise when my mum got back, and the first thing she pointed out was that her lamp was missing. My kid brain was completely convinced that she wouldn't notice, since I had hidden the evidence so well. Best place to put the switch to charge. Olivia is grounded to her room for an hour. I just watched her crawl on the floor with a white towel over her head, trying to get out of her confinement. When I reprimanded her, she backed right into the room without a word. Back in her room, I heard her say to herself, "Well, plan A of making mum think I'm a ghost didn't work. It's time for plan B." As I type, I can see she's just hiding under a chair thinking I won't notice that she, again, left her timeout spot. I just said, "Do you want to be grounded for longer?" She again quietly went back to the room and the drawing board. Stupid plan B. That didn't work. What else do we have, brain? She's going to be a business owner, isn't she? How I imagined ATMs as a child. This is how little kids stare at you in public areas for no reason. Kids today couldn't handle the pain of taking one of these bad boys to the shin. 10-year-olds doing TikTok. Me at 10. Kid, gets a cut on his leg. Dad, looks like we're gonna have to cut it off. Kid, no one. 6-year-old me drinking apple juice. Kid, is born on the 1st of April. Kid, am I a joke to you? Children with VR headsets these days. My VR headset back in the day. Kids, when they see a tall guy. Ah, it's a giraffe. Remember this kid? This is him now. Feel old yet? College kids be like. In terms of money, we have no money. America kids getting to skip school because of a couple snowflakes. Russians. 8-year-old me learning to turn corners. What it looks like versus what it feels like. 5-year-old me trying to find my mum at the supermarket. My kid says he is depressed. I already took his phone away. Is there anything else I can do to get him out of this phase? Everyone with an IQ above 0. Hard to swallow pills. Making your child call you sir is weird. 4-year-old me mixing shampoo with body wash. Chemist. Every mental illness. 14-year-old girls on Twitter. Aha, I've got it. When a 6-year-old sees his name in a math question. How to handle fame. How 6-year-old me thought the picture would look like if I traced my hand versus how it actually turned out. 9-year-old me finding a stick in a forest. This is a good sword. 6-year-old me. When I am bleeding, so I drink my blood to reuse it again. Recircling. 10-year-old. I know how flying cars could work. The flying car. Unironically, this is me. When you get that one smell from your childhood and the memories come flooding back. The horror movie you watched in childhood versus the same movie now. Blow my mind. The last kid to get off the school bus knows where everyone lives. The picky kid at family dinner starter pack. Me, when I see a little kid fall and start You're evil. Rich spoiled kids when they get a yellow Ferrari instead of a red one. Kids in the backseat when they signal to truck drivers to honk their horn, and they actually do. Kids today want the latest iPhone. I remember wanting this pen. Kids, rain, rain, go away. Rain, who just wanted to give water for humans so that they could survive. Kids with divorced but happy parents. Kids with married parents that should be divorced. The first guy to kidnap children must have been like, candy, staring, hand, going to... I have hay fever. Oh my. People complaining about kids these days, how they acted as children. Their kid may have graduated, but it sure doesn't look like the parents did. My kid done graduated. A zombie apocalypse begins. Some 14-year-old girl. Zombies have feelings too. 8-year-old me putting on a cone as a hat in PE class and thinking I'm a comedian. 7-year-old me blowing air into my Capri Sun so it looks like it's full. 8-year-old me listening to a new song on the radio during a road trip. Me listening to the same song years later. 5-year-old me telling a joke that made no sense. My dad who does not understand it but laughs anyway to make me feel good about myself. 5-year-old me when I find a stick. Sword. 9-year-old competing in a 5k run. Took a wrong turn and accidentally won the 10-kilometer race. What parents see versus what kids see. Oh, look at him blushing. It's been a while since I've seen a kid dressed like a kid. popular kid tells a joke. The clout riding MFs. Half Chinese, half Italian. Linguini. This kid has a future. What was the most rebellious thing you did as a kid? As a kid, I straight up lied to my dad's face about having a school project on the solar system. I even made up a deadline so we'd have plenty of time. I just wanted to make something with him. Not sure why I lied. Always nice seeing a single dad taking care of his kid. That's a furry looking kid. Me now. Chalky milk. Me as a kid. Chalky milk. How I imagined drug dealers as a kid versus actual drug dealers. 4-year-old. Why do you go to work? Me. They pay me a salary. 4-year-old. Me. 4-year-old. I don't even like celery. Computer screensaver versus 10-year-old me. Mum. Covers face. Where did mummy go? 2-year-old. Gone. Reduced to atoms. Mum. Uncovers face. Peekaboo. 2-year-old. Impossible. 8-year-old me imagining a catfish. Childhood. 8 o'clock. Hell yeah, I'm not sleeping until morning. 10. Now. 8 o'clock. I need some sleep. I'll just go to bed early. 3 a.m. making memes. 15-year-old car in my head versus 15-year-old car in reality. My 14-year-old brother telling me that this is equal to 0. 6-year-old me. 12-year-old on Xbox Live. I smashed your mum last Friday. Me. No, you didn't. She was out of town that realization. 6-year-old me waiting for my mum to choose what I'm going to wear after taking a bath. 10-year-old kids going on not safe for work websites be like, keep out. Or enter. I'm a sign, not a cop. If you were a kid, you know exactly what these smell like, what the texture is like inside, and you may even know what they taste like. Kid whose dad works for Microsoft. My Xbox Live account. Kid doesn't have a partner. The PE teacher. I will be your champion. Me as a child. Reading 300 pages of a book in a day. Me now. Forgets 3 out of 4 lines that I just read. Birthed child. Adopted child. A parent's unconditional love and support for their child no matter where that child came from. Kids want to be adults. Adults want to be kids. Me, who just wants to die. Kid. Literally snaps his leg in half. The school nurse after putting ice on it. Why do I fix everything I touch? Kid in 2070 confesses on being really depressed and wanting to end their life. Their Gen Z parents. Same. Kid. What is the purpose of a phone if it doesn't have any games? Me. It's about sending a message. But I love sports. Dodgeball was the best. I was the fastest one out there. Of course, I was the ball. This kid looks like he didn't just hit the greatest trick of all time, when in fact, he did. Some little kid was holding a PS5. I snatched it out of his hands and went home with it. 2020 finally did me some good. Made a child cry, but do I have regrets? No, I do not. Childbirth is more painful than a kick in the groin. Women will want more children. Men don't want to get kicked in the groin again. Parents be like, oh no, my child is mirroring my own bad behavior, and I don't like it one bit. Don't punish your child by taking their games away. Instead, log on to their online games and get them banned. Small child. Absolutely incomprehensible gibberish. Me. Why would you say something so controversial, yet so brave? The quiet kid minding his own business. The annoying girl trying to talk with him. When the kid that you talked trash to tells you your full name, address, and IP. The kid on the bus. You, playing a game on your phone. That kid in the seat behind me on the plane. Kids on Thanksgiving pretending they're sparkling apple cider is wine. The kid returning to school after telling the teacher to press Alt plus F4 in the online class. People my age getting married and having children. Me, making 7 random internet strangers smile with memes. The kid who did all the work. You're now the presenter of our group. They did what? Not only did he cheat, but they got married and gave their kid my name. Extrovert kid who wants to be my friend. Me, trying to figure out what I did to warrant this harassment. My brain reminding me of something stupid I did as a kid. Me, trying to sleep at 3 a.m. Letting the bully off without punishment. Suspending the kid who did self-defense schools. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. As a kid, did you ever knock on people's doors and run away before they could answer? Well, guess what? We are hiring. If you remember eating this as a kid, then you ate this as a kid. Psst, hey kid, want some stick shift? Artistic kiddies. Artistic kid dies. Parents. Argues with child. Child wins argument. Parents. How disrespectful. What everyone sees versus what 7-year-old me sees. 11-year-old me putting viruses on the computer to win the free iPhone 4S. 12-year-olds after watching one parkour video and then doing a backflip on their trampoline. 7-year-old me. Cool rock I found on the playground. 5-year-old me pretending to be a smoker when it's cold outside. 13-year-old me. Come on, do something. 7-year-old me at the doctor looking at my mum telling them what the hell is wrong with me. 12-year-old me. Tastes a sip of alcohol. My parents. How does it taste? Me. Blech. 7-year-old me when parents leaving home. 16-year-old me when parents leaving home. The grading system in Korea. So below 70 is a fail. I guess I have failed. If this kid comes back in like 20 years dressed as a massive buff Gyarados, I'll eat my shirt. Karen to her kid. If you don't go to college, you will end up like him. Me, working to pay for college. Thomas the TIE fighter. Uncultured people with the food palate of a child. What do you mean? Wrong. Nobody. Divorced parents on weekends. Give me the child. Dads. My kid. Mums. My child. Grandmas. My precious. What normal people see versus what our childhood sees. Adopted child in English is Yoshi in Japanese. Child. Brings up trauma to parents. Parents. That never happened. I don't remember that. 4-year-old. What happens when you die? You go to heaven. No, I mean when you die. Do I get your stuff? 8-year-old. I'm not playing with you. You're a little kid. 6-year-old. No. 30-year-old versus 70-year-old. We are old. Yes. 10-year-old me. Preparing to tell my mum at 9 p.m. I need glue and construction paper for my project due tomorrow. 5-year-old me at the zoo. I want to see the penguin. 8-year-old me. Trying to see what the fridge looks like closed. Grandpa raising his grandchildren versus grandpa raising his own children. Kid thinks she lives in Fortnite. Dr. Phil. Minecraft players who tried punching a tree in real life. Did anyone else as a kid sleep in the car on the way home and know exactly where you are by feeling the car turn? Yes, of course. Bodybuilders. The kid who can break pencils in half. The kid who can open everyone's water bottles. The kid who can open and close the bus windows. Parents. No, this won't affect our kid. Quantum physics for babies. General relativity for babies. Quantum entanglement for babies. Meanwhile, kid. Toby, age 3, alcoholic, sees kid crying. Kid, I'm lost. Me, that's okay, we're all lost. Happiness is an illusion. Life is meaningless. Death is around the corner. Bye. Band kid this, theater kid that. What about the people who didn't do anything? Just went home after school and straight vibe when the kid with asthma starts talking? Single mothers love dressing their kid like the men who left them. Jack, age 13, favorite actor? Johnny Sins. Johnny Sins commented, thanks kid. Durex is now selling protection with limited edition toy cars. Just in case the protection breaks, then the kid has something to play with. Imagine the kid playing with the car that shows he was a mistake. This kid is going places. How would you make a marriage work? Tell your wife she looks pretty, even if she looks like a dump truck. 6-year-old me playing with grandpa. Whoa. 6-year-old me in the shower. Waterbender. 16-year-old me. 26-year-old me. iPod, iPad, iPad. 40-year-old mums on Facebook. Teachers, when their 14-year-old students behave like 14-year-olds. 6-year-old me who hated vegetables. Like, I never really had hatred for vegetables. I kind of just didn't like them. I like them now though. If video games make children more violent, why do they keep losing fist fights? Me on my way to my parents' bedroom to tell them I had a bad dream. 10-year-old me after I turned off the lights in the basement. Gordon Ramsay around kids versus Gordon Ramsay around adults. 50-year-old dads after their Sunday 7 a.m. alarm goes off. Better rev up my lawnmower because I certainly don't give a damn if I'm waking anybody up. 10-year-olds on their way to receive the funniest man alive award after saying absent when the teacher calls their name. When the deaf kid is doing sign language and the shadow clones appear. Me, minding my business at Walmart. Mother with child acting up. If you don't behave, that man right there is going to take you. Never had this happen to me, thank God. When the popular kid isn't mean and is actually a decent person. Thanks, Apple. I'll let her know. Loud environment. Sound levels hit 90 decibels. Money doesn't bring happiness. Me with money. It's funny because he doesn't even have a nose. So what does he need the tissues for? Oh, Andrew. Can't tell you that. Me, giving the kid at the door candy. Their parent, seeing your childhood photos, be like, remember this kid from Harry Potter? This is him now. Feel old? Most kids. I built my own PC. Boomers. No, you should be playing outside. My nephew. Isn't it? I think the dynamics changed a lot. Don't you guys agree? People aren't really like this anymore. Maybe not mainstream at least. This kid looks like he has a thick Brooklyn accent and is planning a heist of the cookie jar. A kid's YouTube channel makes $80,000 monthly. What his dad gets versus what he gets. Kids and adults, when a bubble wrap bubble doesn't make a popping noise. I feel my heart crack. Kids these days don't play outside like we used to. Henry, call the cops. They have skateboards. Kids then versus kids shows then versus kids shows now versus kids now. When you check in on actors from your favorite childhood TV shows and they're doing just fine. Playground rules, don't climb up the slide. Every child ever. Playground safety laws prepare to be ignored. A kid from kindergarten who likes the same dinosaur as me. Me, also in kindergarten. Wouldn't that make you my best friend? I was depressed, so I ate a 6-pack of tacos. I was rounding off the last one when my daughter said, "Wow, Dad, you're a taco eating machine." She looked at me with complete admiration and gave me a high five, and it pulled me right out of my funk. Kids, man, total game changers. When your kid gets an F on their math homework, but you did the work. Movie versus reality. Why did the kid turn so ugly? That was just unnecessary. How I relaxed knowing none of the cringy stuff I did as a kid got recorded by anyone. If your kid is bullying my kid, and my kid has tried to tell your kid to stop, and your kid doesn't, my kid has been instructed to punch your kid in the face. Daniel Craig. Using your kid's name as a password. Using your password as kid name. Dad, look how fast I can What? Oh no, your kid. Shh, don't react. Just smile. Dad, a meteor hitted me. Did you see? I saw, buddy. Very cool. Schools, when they realize they cause children to be depressed. Does your child know the concept of average well? A, average. B, below average. C, can't have dinner. D, don't come home. F, find a new family. Kid complaining about having bad grades, not paying attention in class, procrastinating, not doing homework. Yeah, but school's boring. Child is passionate about absolutely anything. Parent, got it insulted. Teen hides passion because they were insulted for it. Parent, why doesn't my child tell me anything? Must be social media. Kids who vape when they go in the bathroom and see someone actually pissing. Anger. Childhood is when you idolize Batman. Adulthood is when you realize the Joker made more sense. 45-year-old. No, this is me. This is me and Vazkal and maybe even you and 45-year-old men on Facebook. Child abuse in 2020 versus talking back to your mum in the 1990s. Kids in hoodies versus how teachers see them. Child soldiers versus infantry. Kids are getting taught how to floss, but I'm still trying to figure out how to do the sponge. Kids have no idea that about 30 years ago, Champion was a cheap sports brand sold on the back shelves at Kmart for around $1.99 a shirt, and you got laughed at in school for wearing it. Kid, I'm 8 years old. Me. Oh, okay. I was born in 2012. Me. Kid, becomes 18 years old. The orphanage. 8-year-old me walking into school after learning a brand new swear word. 7-year-old boys when the teacher tells them to sit next to a girl. How the antisocial kid prepares to say, "Here," when the teacher calls attendance. Kid gets bullied on the hallway. The teacher's watching the CCTV monitor. Kid, no talent and sad backstory. America's Got Talent. Kid, Nerf guns are cringe now. Me. Kid, is bullied at school. Parents, you should fight back. Meanwhile, grandma. Kidnapper, get in my van. Kid, no, I have candy. I do as the candy guides. Kid, goes to guidance counselor to report bullying. Guidance counselor. Whoa, that's interesting, but I sure don't care. Kid pretend sword types. Obviously, I can't go through every single one because that'll take me 15,000 hours. What's your favorite one though? If I could choose, I'm gonna go with a long paper tube. Instead of buying your children all the things you never had, you should teach them all the things you were never taught. Material wears out, but knowledge stays. Bruce Lee. Me, wondering why I should be scared of deaf children. Caution, deaf children in area. 6-year-old me mixing 5 different colors together in a cup, expecting a rainbow, but it turns diarrhea brown. 13-year-old me. Why is my mum texting me? Me now. I'm gonna send my mum a picture of this grass because it looks super green. I think she'll like it. Who would win? An apple to blah, 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 one very hungry boy. The only pure version of this meme. Future me and my kid watching Infinity War. Kid. Wait, did they just really die? Dad, quick, let's watch Endgame now. Me. No. Kid. What do you mean? You must wait a year. But I see right there. You will wait a year and suffer as your elders did. After putting me and my crush's name into a love calculator app and finding out we're only 17% compatible. Mum arrested after entering elementary school and confronting son's alleged bullies. Free this woman. She did what her mum was supposed to do. When the school fails, childhood is when you idolize Batman. Adulthood is when you realize Dumbledore was biased, corrupt, and not fit to be headmaster. During childbirth, the pain is so intense that women are almost capable of feeling what a man feels when he hears, "I like you as a friend." It happens to the best of us. Move on, boys. Or just be friends with them. I don't know. Some kid at my school did a TikTok where he wore a crop top and booty shorts. And now it's getting shared across the school. Hey, Ham, Look, I'm Picasso. I don't get it. You uncultured swine. The jokes you don't appreciate as a kid. My kid is turning 17. I offered her a MacBook Air for school, but she wanted this instead. I think I raised her well. Switching from a system in which you exploit children's scream labor to a system in which you exploit their laugh labor doesn't make you heroes. You are still exploiting children's labor. Ethical capitalism does not exist. So this is a theoretical if you have kids, because I do not have kids. But if you do have kids, then I guess you can, it won't be theoretical. Which cup would you give your kids? Eats all meals without complaining. No more whining or tantrums. Willingly takes a bath and brushes teeth. No more fighting with their siblings. Goes to bed without complaining and stays in bed. Always cleans up after them. Okay, so if I have a kid, I'd probably give the orange. Yeah, the orange one. The kid who knows the fourth state of matter. Kid who knows what DNA stands for. The rest of the 5th grade. So my niece decided to sneak off and jump into another family's picture. Child draws on dad's passport. Dad gets stuck in South Korea. Bruh, I don't know what's funnier, her little brother's ID picture or his signature. Happiness is temporary. My cousin placed a horse mask on his dog. His son didn't see the humor in it. My sister just had a baby. She brought her home today, and my other niece was so annoyed that she packed up all of her stuff and tried to leave. I kicked over my little neighbor's bike, and he says he is going to purge me. Imagine coming home from a long day at work to see this. Makes you want to turn around and go back. My daughter was chasing my son around with a lightsaber and got a little too into it. My daughter hates the sun, and she drew me a picture of her yelling at the sun. Today we asked my 3-year-old cousin how much he weighs, and he said, like 50 squirrels. I just found out this is how they x-ray small children, and I cannot stop laughing. My nephew pulled a bowl of flour off the counter. You deserve to find someone to start a family and enjoy life with. Dumb baby put his hand the wrong way. It was Princess Day at dance, and one little girl came in as a hot dog. I have never admired someone more. 4-year-old is livid because she thought we were traveling by ferry, not ferry. My kid made a newspaper for our cat while he uses the litter box. I'm 12. Let the madness consume me. The way my dad has to sit with my little sister so she will eat her dinner. 26-year-old girl disconnected her grandpa's life support to charge her phone. I'm sitting in the living room and I hear Brody say, and this is our fridge. It's where we keep our food. I walk in and this is what I see. That's not our dog. My friend's 7-year-old just told us that his worst 2 enemies are the sun and parkour. My niece asked me one day why I always wear the same tattoos. Like, boys let Black Widow spider bite them in hopes of turning into Spider-Man. New parent idea. Take a picture of you pulling baby out of a spacecraft in the forest. Hide pictures in attic for kid to find when he's 10. Dear girlfriends and wives, please hang your wigs where kids can't reach them. I nearly collapsed last night in my own house. I thought it was a Armodiraha. I found this in my son's dresser. Please God, have mercy on his soul. Got tired of my kid calling all through the night for drinks. Boom. Best $10 I've ever spent. I never understood when people say I drive wild until today. I looked back and saw my baby like this. I went to a baseball game and saw this wild kid. Where are his parents? Lions can hunt and kill their own food by the time they're 3 months old. My 3-year-old could not find her lunchbox and it was in her other hand. I cannot believe we're at the top of the food chain. In honor of their 100th day of school yesterday, my niece dressed as a 100-year-old lady. He told me I had a big nose. Mom tears up after blind son sees her face for the first time and he hasn't even seen other noses. Savage. What the hell is this? It's called do what you can to make your child happy. When your parents won't let you go out. To Mom, let me out or I will break this family. I went to go smoke and my little brother skipped school and was sleeping outside. My dad thought 2-year-old me was strong enough to hang from the curtain rod while he takes this picture. This is such a bad product. You might have temporary control over your tot, but you're just going to make it stronger. What's worse than an uncontrollable baby? An uncontrollable baby who has never missed leg day and could kill you with one kick. 6-year-old to her crying brother. It's okay to be sad sometimes. We need to let our feelings out. Just let yourself be sad. Me. Oh darling, that's so lovely. Well done. Why is he crying? I hit him. I'm glad we own 10,000 stuffed animals so my toddler can fall asleep cuddling with a jar of peanuts. After a heated argument with my teen who yelled out that he wanted to move out, my youngest put his arms around me and said, "Don't worry, Mom. I'll live here until I'm 60. I think he meant it to be comforting. It was not. I have a question about raising teenagers, and that question is, what the fuck? Of course you judge parents in restaurants before you have kids. That's how the human race survives. Each person thinking they can do it better before finding out no, you can't. Once when my sister was about 4, we had pizza for dinner, which my sister hated. Since she took forever to eat it, we went outside without her. So instead of eating her pizza like a normal child, she threw it up on purpose so she could play. My mom made her clean it up. Yo, this kid is riding his bike at church. Update. He just started crying because he hit one of the nuns and they scolded him. Lol, my baby sister's bag. Are those Cheetos? I'm minding my business, taking a shower at 1 something in the morning. I sneeze and hear a whisper, bless you, and I damn near yeeted my own child into oblivion. What is he doing? When you get little, you will understand. My son, explaining to me why I'm doing his arts and crafts for him. I bought my son a book about bats, and halfway through it, he shouted, "What? Bats are real." All this time, he thought they were made up for Halloween, like ghosts and witches. If you Photoshop adults' heads slightly larger, you will end up with a group of well-dressed little kids. Today a kid asked to play tic-tac-toe with me, and I was like, yeah, sure, and he proceeded to draw this. My kid just learned, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, but he keeps forgetting and he's yelling, uh-oh, noodles, instead. The best baby age when they see another baby as though themselves are not in fact also a baby. My 5-year-old son just asked, what if we put a slice of turkey in the DVD player and it plays a movie about the whole turkey's life? And none of the parenting books I've read have prepared me for this question. My daughter met poop and pee at the city wastewater treatment exhibit and cried when we had to leave them. Kids injured themselves trying to fly after watching Peter Pan, so producers added fairy dust. I just found my old diary from when I was 9, and by God, I was an idiot. Dear diary. Sorry. We went to the planetarium today, and when this voiceover said, "This is the Earth," one of the kid booed. I just realized my 4-year-old let the intrusive thoughts win. When you're thirsty, but you can't read. Wife's friend was convinced there was a ghost baby in her daughter's crib. Turns out the dad forgot to remove the mattress's sticker. My 10-year-old son just took my phone and texted this to my wife. Honey, I got fired. He wants to get on the bus. The bus on the TV. Dad, can I tell you a secret? Sure thing, buddy. Grabs my face and whispers, I just pooped and I did not wash my hands. Toddler left looking like Pennywise after putting hair removal cream on her head. My little brother tried to cook bacon in the PlayStation. How do I clean it? He managed to get it inside the CD slot. One time when I was snowboarding with my dad, one of the big trail map signs had a "You are here" sticker. So I asked how they knew we were here, and I think that's when he knew I was going to be a fucking idiot. 6-year-old. I need to fart. Me. No, we're eating. Okay, I'll just hold it in with my hand. It didn't work. Woman in my train carriage smoothly telling the conductor that her son is traveling free because he's only 4, while the kid repeatedly yells, "But I'm not 4. Me to my 4-year-old son, drink your milk. Him, why? It will make you big and strong like a cow. Him, thinking, so if I just drink a lemonade, I will be the size of a lemon. Yes, it was when I found myself cutting the crust off waffles at my daughter's request that I realized the power dynamics had shifted permanently in my household. I asked my new class to write one thing they would like me to know before I start teaching them. I take a long time to do a poo. My record is 2 hours 15 minutes. I remember when I was 6, I got a hold of my dad's ID and it had an expiration date. I spent 3 hours crying because I thought that he was set to die on that date. He asked me why I was crying and I didn't tell him because I was scared he was going to cry as well. Kids will say the most messed up stuff, then do a cartwheel like nothing happened. My mommy said I can't eat at your house because you're a witch. I just told my son he could mind control if he rubbed his fingertips all over my head and chanted mind control quietly. And that is how you get a free scalp massage from your kids. My kid crying, just losing her mind as I explained to her why she cannot sleep with a water balloon. I took my 5-year-old and 3-year-old to the zoo last week. I'm heavily pregnant. My eldest wandered a bit ahead and my 3-year-old said, "Don't worry, mum. If you lose him, you've got another baby in your tummy. There will still be 2. When I said I would rather keep all 3, he replied, "Why? Haha, hagged. You left yourself locked in at the Sprint store." My 4-year-old is watching Toy Story for the first time ever and he just whispered to himself, "Alive, toys." I knew it. This text from my son lives rent-free in my head. How do you spell Ninja Turtle? I genuinely think of myself as an okay father, but somehow I forget to teach my 2-year-old son what an owl was, and he thought it was called a wood penguin. 8-year-old remembered to take the foil flavor packet out. She forgot to add the water. Why is everyone else acting like what they are seeing is normal? Opens bottle of bleach. Nephew, how did you open it? I tried, but it didn't open. Oh, it's because it has a child safety lock. Children can't open it. Looks at bottle in amazement. How did it know I was a child? Our dog peed on our new couch. My 6-year-old daughter documented the events, including my reaction. We found my wife's phone in the toilet yesterday. We weren't sure which of our 3 kids put it there until my wife scrolled through her pictures today. Today, my son drew in red marker all over his face, then got scared that we would be mad, so he tried to hide it by wrapping toilet paper around his head, like a mummy. Then he promptly ran into a wall and nearly knocked himself unconscious. A comedy of errors every day with this kid. Took kids parasailing and they played dead. 7-year-old girls really know how to hit you where it hurts. Dear Dad, you are 1 year closer to death, and a happy birthday. My daughters built a slug hospital and found 30 plus patients who are now escaping, and nothing in the parenting books prepared me for this. There is no limit to a child's imagination. My 2-year-old is yelling at me for taking too big of a bite from her pretend sandwich, and she cannot make another one because we're all out of pretend bread. Earlier, my daughter asked me if grown-ups ever cry. I sat down with her, hugged her, and explained that we do cry, and that we feel scared, sad, angry, and everything she feels, and it's fine to feel those things. She then asked me if grown-ups pee. Why is your kid crying today? Mine did not get picked in a game. She was playing alone. Super excited about my 2-year-old telling me he hears Nana living in the walls. Oh cool, he's saying hi to her. You knew what you were getting into when you had children. Did I? Did I know that I would be arguing with a 4-year-old that we don't lick people's feet? Did I know that? Me in 2nd grade, making me's of literally anyone I've interacted with ever. I hate when people ask me if my baby is a good baby. Like no, he bets on illegal dog races and stabbed a kid on the playground. Lady in Walmart told her son, "Put that shit back!" I almost put my shit back. So in 2nd or 3rd grade in my school, there was this old guy fixing our men's bathroom, but I did not know that, so when I entered the bathroom, I saw an old guy smiling, and I ran like my life depended on it, thinking I just saw a ghost, while telling everyone there was a ghost in the men's bathroom. Once when I was 9 years old, my teacher told me to write the most beautiful love story I could imagine, and I wrote a story about a shark and a horse who fell in love, and the horse jumped into the sea to be with the shark, but it drowned and died, and the shark was so sad that it also died. The teacher called my parents. It's always nice getting pictures from our son's teacher showing how he's excelling in school. So I came home from school to see my 7-year-old sister putting Skittles with my antidepressants. I went up to her and asked, "Hey, what are you doing?" She looked at me, smiled, and said, "Skittles make me happy, so I put them with your medicine. That makes you happy, so you can be extra happy." That was the cutest thing I've ever heard. Babe, I want to have babies with you. 10 hours of a baby crying. Why did you send me that? If you can sit through that uninterrupted, then I will agree to have babies with you. Lol, let's just get a puppy. Grandpa, why are you driving so fast? Your grandma is waiting for us. But grandma is dead. 8-year-olds when they realized they could have gotten Minecraft for free on September 18, 2010, but they weren't alive yet. Ah yes, the stages of life, child, pain, sleep. Hard to believe this little guy was conceived 17 months ago in the bathroom stool at Red Robin's. She's been talking into the vent for a while. At first I thought it was cute. Now I'm afraid someone is talking back. Some kids are outside, playing a car accident. I wish I would have got some on video, but they were both in the car. Then they made it tip over and started screaming help, and then one of them crawled out of the pretend wreckage and died on the spot. The other kid is screaming at him, telling him to wake up, to no avail. No, wake up, he's dead. No, so grim, so hilarious. Big goals for this kid. When I grow up, I want to be a mailbox. 2-year-old eating his lunch. Papa, coffee hot. Me, yeah, it's hot, don't touch. Me blowing it for you. It was at this point I witnessed with horror. My 2-year-old attempted to blow my freshly made coffee, only to spit a half-eaten chicken nugget straight into it. Little cousin got a mermaid tail for Christmas, and hasn't opened anything else since. Most kids have a stuffed animal or blanket. My niece has one of those plastic owls you put outside to scare away the birds. My niece ate my two-faced chocolate what the fuck is this, palette, because it smells like chocolate. I don't know if I should laugh or cry. I am above the law. I believe you. When that annoying kid running around the restaurant finally hits his head and starts crying. My wife and I never baby talk to our kids. We use full sentences and a wide vocabulary, including complex words. My son is 3 and can carry a full conversation. Adults at family gatherings are shocked at his social aptitude. My daughter isn't even 2 and she uses 4-syllable words. My wife and I never talk to our kids. We ask them to submit all communication anonymous through rigorous and double-blind peer review. My daughter is 5. I can't read this. I've been tired for 10 years. Kid. Hey, that's how old I am. Weird. The kids are building a fort. Break it. The hell is wrong with you? If we can't have nice things, neither can they. Parenting is basically just punctuating every conversation with various commands. Yes, I like your picture. Put on your shoes. My favorite color is yellow. Finish your breakfast. No, fish don't snore. Go brush your teeth. My dog is a circle because he is round. If I had 100 friends, I would turn the phone off. Daughter, what's nostalgia? Wife, it's when you miss something that's really old. Later, I'm home from work. Oh, we missed you. Nostalgia. My son's best answer this week. Explain how you figured out how much milk they drank. Thinking. I want to learn about explosions because I like to blow things up. I was in a class Zoom call when there was a faint thud in the background. My teacher peered off screen for a second, calmly remarked, well, my daughter just ran straight into a wall, and continued to tell us about the structure of proteins. Shout out to my 6-year-old who, during one of her Zoom classes, brought the laptop into the bathroom while I was taking a shower, causing me to scream, turn off the camera several times while she screamed, I can't hear you because you're taking a shower. What's the dumbest thing you believed as a child? This will probably get lost, but I believed for many years when my mom told me that cows unroll hay bales as sleeping bags at night and roll them back up in the morning. My kid peed in the humidifier. There is urine misted in every fucking surface of this room. Some little kid just called me fat. So if you're in Iowa and missing a child, he's in the red LG dryer. Timothy Chamlet looks great in newly shared photos. He looks like a kid getting his photos taken on a family trip. Ooh, it's kind of cold. Kid wearing shorts in the winter to prove how tough he is. You think this is cold? Well, I'm wearing shorts and I'm not cold. I don't get cold easily. They call me Brad, the cold resistance tough guy, because I don't get cold because I'm tough. Kids beg you to play hide and seek and then hide like this. Stop holding on to people just because you have a history together. But they're my kids. When I was a kid, I literally thought that English was the only language and people speaking other languages were still learning and trying their best. Wish I was as brave as my kid who just ate 0 bites of her dinner and then asked my wife for a snack. 6 minutes after the table was cleared. Fill in the solutions. Directions, read out the problems and come up with a solution for each one. Problems. You fell on the playground and scratched your knee. Solution. Get up and deal with it. This kid is going places. Give us the child. Bought my kid Chipotle today and he pulls out this move. Ain't putting up with this. Anybody want a son? Just a reminder that you're the parent and you're in charge. Don't give that kid any color of cup you want. Lol, JK, don't do that. You will die. Quick story. My sister told my brother the vacuum is hungry, so stay away unless you want to get eaten. Following this logic, he proceeded to pour water in the vacuum, saying the vacuum was thirsty. He was full. So, why yes, I was taking care of the kids myself today. Why do you ask? So young, so honest. Name, Frankie. I earn money at home. Bye. I don't. I am a freeloader. 5-year-old me. Our baby's created by kissing. My parents. It's an oversimplification of events, but yes. Hey, do you play Fortnite? No. Why asking? Lol, your bio says Stormtrooper. It's a skin on Fortnite. How to properly dress your child. This kid is going places. Yeah, I mean, that is a better choice. Look at our lives. Look at our choices. How is this child not aged a day in 16 years? Dermatologists must hate him. Me as a parent. If having an old soul was a person. This was funny until I realized my 6-year-old was under that pile of stuffed animals. True story. When I was 8, my family took me to Disneyland, which meant it would be my first time on a plane. While flying there, the plane hit some pretty bad turbulence, and I screamed at the top of my lungs. We are all going to die. I knew that it was going to be fine. I just thought it was funny. An old lady behind me started to cry. This must look so weird if you don't speak Dutch. Honestly, she's just saying, Mummy, this one, please. I am pissing myself. We use that for training children and propping the door open when it's hot. When I was a kid, I thought that this line was referring to them using the mannequin to prop open doors that were too hot to touch, not that the room was hot. I was around 3 to 4 years old when, one time, my parents were going somewhere. My little sister and I will be left at home, so my mom decided to give me cash. It's just one piece of cash, and she told me that we will share the money if we ever need something. I ripped the cash in half and gave the other half to my sister. You're doing great. Look at this stick I found. Whoa, that's a good looking stick. Parents on bus. A child gave my son his tablet in exchange for an Oreo cookie today on the bus. Please contact me for your tablet back. My 6-year-old watching me pour Drano down his bathroom sink. What's that? It dissolves whatever gunk is clogging up your drain. Cool. Even the screwdriver down there. The what? A tip to new parents. 3-year-olds will lock you out of the house in the snow without remorse and will think it's the funniest thing that's ever happened in the history of the world. What happened on the coffee table? 5-year-old daughter. I also killed all the stormtroopers. My toddler just spent 5 minutes explaining that he can't use his imagination because he traded it to a kid at daycare for some fruit snacks. Okay, bro. She's crying because she is cold but doesn't want to put on her sweatshirt. As a kid, my sister told me that we had an older brother that died. She said he died when he was playing bowling and his fingers did not come out the ball and slid all the way down the alley, then turned into a skittle. Fun fact, I had such a low grasp on reality when I was younger that when my dad died, I actually waited for him to respawn. Being a parent sometimes means a frantic effort to get your kid breakfast, dressed, and in the car, only to pull up to the school's drop-off zone 2 minutes before school starts and have them say, "But I'm not wearing any shoes." My mum told me that when one of my sisters saw a chicken for the first time, aged 18 months, she laughed so hard she vomited. What did you do at school? Memorize stuff. What stuff? I don't remember. Letting my 4-year-old play Mario Kart had some unexpected efforts. Last night, he told me he was afraid of the storm, as there might be lightning and he is already small and does not wish to shrink even more. I'm in church right now, and this is happening. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of kids, but if a child looks at me, then you bet I'm going to smile back. Kids deserve to experience the world as a kind and safe place to explore, okay? But the world is not kind or safe, then do your part to make it that way. Stop disliking my videos. I can hack you. Kids make no sense. My 5-year-old was overheard by his idiot teacher telling his friends I was a big robber with lots of guns. The next thing I know, the police are searching my house for guns and stolen gear. By the way, I am not a robber, nor do I have or keep weapons. Police were quite apologetic. Friend's kid did the same when he told his kindergarten teacher his dad had dead bodies in his car. Friend's husband owned a mortuary and had the contract with the county coroner to remove bodies from crime scenes. My friend's son, struggling to pick up a book, 6-year-old, fast forwards all the way through a movie. You can't just skip to the happy ending. I don't have time for problems. I think my favorite part of being a mother has been sacrificing my body, mental stability, and physical appearance to wait on them hand and foot, only to be met with, "You don't do anything for me," when I ask them to pick up a fruit snack wrapper. It's very rewarding. Apparently I pack an apple in my 5-year-old's lunch so we can get out of the house for a few hours. Dads, don't tell your daughters they are pretty. Tell them they're strong. Tell them they're smart. Tell them that they can't get prosecuted for theft until they're 10. 4-year-old, why do you go to work? They pay me a salary. 4-year-old, me. I don't even like celery. My daughter turned 1 yesterday. Instead of having her pick out her future career, I had her pick out something a little more important, her starter Pokemon. Father's Day, the kids have made me breakfast. My son just came up to me with a bag of chips and said, "Dad, I can't eat this. The bag is broken," pointing to the open end of the bag. Me, thinking he was just being a 5-year-old, making a big deal out of some minor grievance. There's nothing wrong with it. Just eat the chips. Son, I can't. The bag's broken. What does this have to do with the chips? No, I can't eat it because there's a hole in the bag. Yeah, that's how you open it. Here, give me the bag. He sighs and carefully hands it to me. I grab it by the open end, and the chips immediately fall out from the bottom. Both sides of the bag were open. I told you. You did tell me. Overheard in the men's room, father and 4-year-old in a separate stools. Dad, don't take off all your clothes. Okay, tell me when you are done. Are you taking off all your clothes, Dad? No, nobody does that. I do that. I know. That is why I'm telling you not to do that. Okay, are you done? Yeah, come out then. I have to put my clothes back on. God damn it. Can't wait until my 11-year-old understands money slightly better. Been food shopping with my kid for years. She's 11 and now has developed an opinion on everything. She questioned me on why I buy generic brand items over brand names. I explained, when you only have $100, you cannot use it all up buying brand name foods. It goes further if you buy items at a good price. She says, okay. 5 minutes later, when checking out, cashier greets us. How you doing today? My daughter replies, it could be better. We can't eat brand named foods because my dad is cheap like a bird, and flocks her arms and goes, cheap, 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 cheap. My goodness. When I was little, my dad told me that the star on the family telephone was actually a snowflake, and that meant he could call Santa and tell me to put coal in my stocking coming Christmas, and that's how I knew never to misbehave. I ended up with this 11-year-old kid who just started playing the game, while my other random teammates told him to shut up. I thought I would be nice and teach him how to play, since I remember being an 11-year-old playing Halo 3, and it made my day when older people were nice to me. He was so happy someone talked to him. He beatboxed for me, did a Russian impression, told me how Assassin's Creed is his favorite game, and then told me I'm the first person who wasn't mean to him. Bro, look at what I just seen at the store. Been all over the mall looking for this boy. A picture paints 1,000 words. My little bro spent a night at my house. Look at how this guy sleeps. I found my son's book of bad superheroes. Man, the strength of 2 men. Mum uses cardboard cutout of herself to stop kid crying when she leaves room. My son thought the crowd gathered at the park was for him. You don't know pain until a little kid draws stick figures of the whole family, and you are the only one round. I brought my nephew a cake to class for his birthday. Before I took the picture, he said, why? I don't even like these kids. My little cousin got mad because I said he looks like a Victoria's Secret bag. If you could revive someone who is dead, who would it be? My dad. He died of cancer. Haha, that's lame. I would choose Tupac. Could hear a faint scream. I started to panic, ran to the noise, turned a corner and found this. Congrats, kid. Never actually seen anyone do this in real life. Take back to the time when my fish that lived for 3 years died, and I did not have a picture with it, so I made my mum take one. My kid randomly told me, I'm going to do Namaste in the backyard. Be back soon. This is apparently Namaste. Father's Day message. Kids, please don't rush things. We all love you, so always remember that, even when you're dead. Some baby on this plane is singing the ABCs all out of order, and a guy shouted, yes girl, a remix. This is my little baby cousin, and he is dressed as a smoke detector for Halloween. None of us know why, but he is really obsessed with smoke detectors. That is all he's asked for in the way of presents these past 2 years. One of y'all's sons has a crush on my daughter and gave her his glasses today. His prescription glasses that he cannot see without. Just like a boy doing anything to impress a girl. Giving up the gift of sight is crazy. I've been telling my daughter to take this mask off for over 3 hours. She's not listening. I walk out of a Target to the scene of a child laying motionless on the ground. I ask what was wrong, and the dad said, he's upset his gloves match his jacket. I interrupted my Twitter break to tell you that Abigail started crying because her gift got wet. The gift. I hate playing make-believe with little kids. You shoot them with a laser, and they're like, actually, I went back in time, so it doesn't count. The hell are you talking about? You just casually ripped open a hole in the space-time continuum. That is irresponsible as hell, pal. My 7-year-old just got mad at his brother and called him ugly, and his brother got really upset about it and started crying. They are identical twins. Identical twins. My son named a piece of birthday cake Keiki, then got too attached to it to eat it. We saved it for him the next day, and he decided to eat it the next day because he did not want it to get old. He cried the whole time, saying, I'm sorry Keiki, between bites. Today my 3-year-old niece cried because she remembered she hit her leg somewhere 3 days ago. She said she forgot to cry about her leg that day. Children are so strange. I just had 7 young boys on my front porch demanding to see my cat. They had a leader. I opened the door, and before I could greet them, he said, where's your cat? I know he's in there. We see him in the window, and he's real fat. I don't know what to do here. My mother sneezed into her elbow while muted during Zoom school, and her students thought she was dabbing and cheered. My brother is crying because we're burning some wood in the fireplace. Me, it's time to get dressed for school. 3-year-old. Okay, I just have to do something first. The something. My toddler got mad that her poop came out in 2 pieces instead of 1. She accused my husband of cutting it while she wasn't looking. Don't laugh, but when I was little and it was pouring outside, I thought that God and Satan were fighting, so I used to get my belt and hit the ground so I could help the Lord out. My 7-year-old was tapping away on my Mac tonight and told me he was writing a book, The Killer Forest. One day, there were 7 pairs of underpants. They were not ordinary. They were evil. As a mother, this is hands down the most beautiful Valentine's Day card I could ever get. I don't care. Bedtime was half an hour ago. My 6-year-old just walked out, blurry-eyed, and asked his father if a duck is a predator. Some things are too important to go to bed without knowing. I set out a suitcase to pack for my flight later today, and spotted my 3-year-old crawling inside of it to hide. I casually zipped it up and yelled, I'm off to the airport everybody, and carried it to the car. I've circled the block twice and my luggage hasn't stopped laughing. My 8-year-old asked me where Mississippi was. I told him to Google it. This was his search. The internet is really ruining kids. Write the definition of cab. Lying. The kids blamed the footprints on the dog. Fun fact, my parents got married on April Fool's Day, so when I was 7, I tried to be funny and I made them an anniversary card that said, your marriage is a joke, and my mum cried. Apparently, my kid got in trouble today for packing our toaster in his backpack and pulling it out at lunch to make Pop-Tarts for his class. I can't stop laughing. Once, when I was 9, my teacher told me to write the most beautiful love story I could imagine, and I wrote a story about a shark and a horse who fell in love, and the horse jumped into the sea to be with the shark, but it drowned and died, and the shark was also so sad that it died. The teacher called my parents. My son was asked to combine 2 animals for his biology class. He refused to let me help him order his food because he's a big boy. Now his ass is sitting in the back, mad as hell, with his egg on a hot dog bun, with jalapenos and black olives for breakfast. You gon' learn today. The teacher told kids to draw their mum's hobbies. My mum likes drinking. Kids working together to create eternal recess, the uprising we deserve. My son keeps grabbing fists of air and screaming, mine. My daughter is crying, saying TJ is stealing my air. They are in my bedroom on a Saturday morning. Almost 2-year-old for sale. Has been crying for 10 minutes because he can't get in the oven with the cornbread. Entertaining all offers. My little brother is 13 today. I miss those days I used to say, I bet you can't get me water from the kitchen in 5 seconds. And he would pace it, lol, dumb guy. I told my students to write, excuse me. Not to brag, but what a time to be childless. You are not wrong. While I was rocking my 7-month-old to sleep, for her nap, my 3-year-old took a loaf of bread into his wardrobe and took a bite out of every every single slice. 6-year-old. Do dragons fart? Me. I don't know. I thought you went to college. My daughter just ruined Toy Story forever. She said if one of the toys died, Andy would not know, and he would carry on playing with its corpse. I tried to be nice and gave this little kid $20 for orange juice and his orange juice stand, and he called me stupid because it was only $1. I have a friend that insisted on dressing up like a clown for his family picture back when he was like 8, and it's my favorite picture ever. Why is he sitting like a 14th century monarch? He is one. I remember when I was like 6, I thought that if you liked drinking alcohol, you were an alcoholic, and I didn't realize being an alcoholic was a bad thing. So when my aunt asked me what I wanted to be when I grow up, I said, I want to be an alcoholic just like my dad. When I was little, I learned what schizophrenia was from television, and for a while I was really afraid because I thought I had it since I always heard my own voice in my head. So finally, I told a doctor, and he informed me that what I was experiencing was called thinking. When I was a kid, I had this game called Worm Church, where I'd bring worms to my room and read them the Bible. I went through my son's iPad this morning, How to Fight My Dad. I bought ourselves some peace and quiet for $3. The last one standing with $1 still on the wall wins the money. When you didn't get to press the elevator button. Kid at the park just told me it's her birthday today. I asked her how old she is, and she said 5.5. Story absolutely crumbling. I wished her a happy birthday, but I crossed my fingers while I did it. If a kid shoots you with a Nerf gun, you are supposed to die a dramatic death and explain, you shot me, bleh. Abducted child set free after annoying his kidnapper by singing gospel songs. Did your parents ever tell you the joke where they would say if you were kidnapped, you'd annoy the kidnapper so much they would give you back? In first grade, I wanted to be a bird, and one day I remember my neck and my arms being covered in little red bumps, and I thought the transformation was beginning, and I ran to my teacher crying, saying I was not ready to become a bird yet, and it just turned out I was allergic to yogurt, and I wasn't turning into a bird at all. My niece said I was going bald, so unprompted, she cut off a lock of her hair for me. I hope the tape holds. My 4-year-old is losing his shit because I won't put a band-aid on his eyeball. I messed up. Don't mess up. I'm 11 by the way. I love watching kids meet dogs. They are always like, my grandma has one just like this, except she's red and small and doesn't bark and has 3 legs and is a lizard, and she's dead now. Kids are the best, man. They get all shocked when you figure out they did something wrong, like, Mum, how did you know I colored on the table? Because you wrote your fucking name on it. Bro, grade 7 me was wild. After school detention, reason, pretending to do it with the table, repeatedly asked to stop but carried on. I wouldn't let him touch a washed up jellyfish. When I was a kid, I liked strawberries so much that I would eat them until I got sick. Here is one of those times. A child, what's that? Me, holding an Oreo milkshake. It's spicy, you won't like it. One time, when I was 11, my dad took me to an Italian restaurant, and the waiter asked what my name was, and I said, Sam, but you can call me Captain Ravioli. And my dad just looked at me and said, what the fuck was that? Don't do that. And I've been chasing that high ever since. My son bet me that he could make a piece of paper fly farther than I could, so he spent 10 minutes making the fanciest paper aeroplane I have ever seen. The look on his face when I crumpled mine into a ball and launched it across the house was priceless. Sucks to be a loser. I just remembered that when I got my first dog, I was 7 and he was 1. 7 in dog years, and I cried when he turned 2 because I did not think a 14-year-old dog would want to hang out with me. Walk around your vehicle before you leave. Take note. I think that this one should be shared as much as possible. Unsure if you want kids or not. My son told me he throws the grapes that look funny behind the couch, and I just found his secret pile of rotting fruit. Caught my son chugging Parmesan cheese. Not kidding, your daughter just poured a glass of water on her head while sitting on the couch, and I said, oh, why would you pour that on yourself? And she goes, cause I can, and it feels nice. My son's school was having issues with messy bathrooms, so every month they reward the boys or the girls with ice cream depending on whose bathrooms are cleaner. And according to my son, it's become a prank war where they just fuck up each other's bathrooms. Digging through my old boxes, my wife found her wedding purse. She let the kids play with it since they like pretending they're princesses and such, and they've been carrying it around excitedly like it's a great treasure. It turns out they've been using it to store pepperoni. The 6-year-old flatly refused to believe that we used to navigate using maps made out of paper. You mean like pirates? The teacher asked my kindergartner what his favorite season was, and he said garlic salt. My son is terrified of the Loch Ness Monster right now. Absolutely terrified. He keeps asking me questions about it. Can it get out of the lock? Is the lock far away? I have no idea where he heard about it. I told him it can drive and could be in our town in 20 minutes. My son kept telling me his best friend was called Joe Fish. I asked other people, did they know this child? No one did. Turns out he was called Joseph. When I was 9, I watched Frozen and I thought I had the same powers as Elsa because because I had dandruff, so I told my class I had snow powers and started scratching my scalp. Me, eat your vegetables. Baby, no, eat an airplane. Delicious. My sister takes her kid's Nintendo Switch away at night, so the kids made a fake Switch and tried to swap the real one and put the fake one in its place. Today, a kid asked to play tic-tac-toe with me, and I was like, yeah, sure, and he proceeded to draw this. My 11-year-old just screamed across the skate park, Mum, did you ever get our health insurance reinstated? I want to do a trick. There was a spring in 2nd grade where every single recess I would walk out to the most remote part of the playground, die dramatically, and lie motionless for the entire 20 minutes. I was trying to trick a turkey vulture into coming down to eat me so I could grab it as a pet. My 3-year-old niece ordering a jacket potato, then crying when it arrived because she thought it was a potato wearing a jacket. One of my clearest memories of my grandfather is when he beat me in chess and I cried because I was a sore loser, and he said, okay, I will play you left-handed, and then I won, and it took me until like last week to realize he was a clown bastard. What is a childhood anecdote that says a lot about you? Mine is that when I was 8, my friends and I went door to door selling homemade keychains so we could buy Bibles for our bullies. When I was 6, I pretended to be a tiger for a solid month, and my parents wouldn't take me out to eat for like a year because I asked a waitress for a small cup of blood. My 4-year-old has been carrying a small notebook around all day. She opens it, writes small scribbles, and quickly closes it back up. She's calling it her secret diarrhea, and maybe someday I'll correct her, but definitely not today. I feel bad for teachers because I distinctly remember my mum bursting into tears once when she was grading papers and she was just mumbling, "They're so goddamn stupid," over and over. Every time I read this, I laugh a little harder. My 4-year-old cousin is freaking out because we went to a restaurant and the forks had 3 prongs instead of 4. Every time someone said the word fork, she said, "No, it's a 3. I can't wait for this kid to be old enough to use Tumblr. My children are currently trying to murder each other because my 8-year-old son won't stop telling my 5-year-old daughter that her real birth name is Big Jim. He could not open this bag of cereal with a fork. My 8-year-old has started talking back and then saying out loud, #roasted, and dabbing. Not one of the parenting books prepared me for this. There was a massive unflushed jobby in the toilet. I asked my boys who did it, and my 10-year-old son said it was him. My 5-year-old son is crying because he says it was him, and his big brother is taking the credit. Have a great week, everyone. To the student who keeps taping hot Cheetos to things in my classroom, why? The distance between the sun and the earth, 149 million kilometers. Yet, this kid decided to put a ladder to watch the solar eclipse. I work at a big chain bookstore. Someone at another store found this while tidying up the children's department. If you laugh at a kid's joke, that kid will tell the exact same joke at a slightly louder volumes, 8,000 times in a row. Good evening, who needs a free Happy Meal? We have 18 available. My 5-year-old knows how to use Grubhub. My friend's 4-year-old son would not go back to sleep because he wanted to keep looking at the stars, and she tried to bribe him with a piece of chocolate, and he just said, "Would you rather get a reward or be happy?" and turned back to the window. Oh my god. Y'all, I am sick with the virus, and look what my son made for me and left on the table, right outside of my bedroom door. Simple facts I'm terrified of my toddler discovering. Public parks don't randomly close. Televisions don't run out of batteries. There is no actual world record for fastest at putting away toys. Chicken the animal and chicken the food are one and the same. Got any to add? Dad, isn't it weird that the word chicken can mean an animal or a type of food? My kid, on the verge of making a horrific realization. My friend Luke did not realize until he was an adult that lukewarm was a real temperature. He thought it was just a term his mum used to describe his bath water. My toddler just spent 5 minutes explaining that he cannot use his imagination because he traded it to a kid at daycare for some fruit snacks. Okay, bro. My daughter said, "Dad, I like your car because it's made of human skin, because we have 10 fake leather seats." My kid crying, just losing her mind as I explained why she cannot sleep with a water balloon. 6-year-old son, who would win in a fight between a hippo and a lion? Me. I don't know. Maybe the hippo because he's big and can stomp. Wrong. The lion has a knife. The lady across the street must think I'm the worst mother. Has she ever seen me playing nicely with my kids? No. Has she seen me chasing my naked 5-year-old around the yard trying to get my keys from him because he locked his brother in the car? Yes. Yes, all 3 times. Mom, I don't want dinner. Me, I'm not making you dinner. I'm making you a big snack. Yay, snacks. Phone rings in the middle of the night. Me, answers phone. Hey, this is Josh with toxicology. Doc, hey Josh, we have a kid here with cyanosis, blue tongue, blue lips. Hold on a second. Whispering in background. Never mind, they had a blue Jolly Rancher. Bye. When I was 8, a man came to the front door and talked to me for a bit. He then went around the back and went into the house. I told my mom that some guy just showed up and went into the back door. My mom ran to the back to investigate. Turns out it was my dad, who had just shaved his mustache. Kids say the darndest things. Kid came up to me and asked for a free cookie, and I said I can't do that. So he asked how he could get a free cookie, and I said if you come back later and we have a broken one, we will give it to you. He goes, can I pay you $2 to break one on purpose? The cookies are $1.50. Jumping off a tree for 620 subscribers. When I was around 5, I went to a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, and the music video had a giant Mr. Munch above. My dumb self thought it was real, and that at school, Mr. Munch would be on top of the building. I remember I used to think adults never slept. Now, hear me out. You know how people say, he's been in his room all night, or I'm going to spend the night studying. Well, my 7-year-old self thought they were actually spending all night doing whatever, but I remember thinking, I cannot wait until I can stay up all night. My little cousin, Arjun, got caught using ChatGPT on his 7th grade English homework. My 7-year-old son made me a cup of coffee that somehow tasted like beef stew. Mom, I put a sprinkle of that brown stuff in it you like. The brown stuff I use is cinnamon. The brown stuff he used was dry rub seasoning. In the best yet things my nephews have done, the 7-year-old ordered a burger today and was asked if he wanted it medium. Could you please make it very large? He asked, told that the choice was between medium and well done. I took a picture of my kid's chest x-ray to show the family. He had pneumonia. I showed the kid and he gasped. Then in an awestruck voice, he said, I have a skeleton. I was in Walmart in the soap aisle where a toddler said hi to me and then proceeded to start poking my butt and was going, Heine, Heine. And when her father came over, she went, Dad, Heine. And he mortifyingly went, stop touching that woman's Heine, and apologized. In primary school, we had a creative writing assignment where we had to write about a character in a new strange situation, and I wrote about a squid that was somehow teleported from the ocean to the forest floor and slowly choked to death for 2 pages, and I will never quite forget my teacher's face, because it turns out she wanted, this school is scary, I hope to make friends, and not a graphic description of a squid dying. A 7-year-old girl asked me to interview her about the craft of storytelling, and after each of my answers, she said, correct, and pensively wrote 2 letters on a note card. One time, she drew a frog instead. I just witnessed a child have a meltdown in the pumpkin patch because he wanted to go to the pumpkin patch that he was already standing in. Y'all parent every day. Oh my god. Once when I was a little kid, my family was out at a fancy restaurant, and I ran over to the table next to us and asked the woman sitting there, excuse me ma'am, are you fat? I am never allowed to forget this. Was she fat? I have no memory of the actual event, but according to my parents, yes, she was massive. My brother used to think that a man sat under the escalators and operated them. He also thought that man's name was James, and that was his real dad, not our dad. So every time we passed the escalator at the mall, my brother would scream at our dad, you're not my real dad, James is my real dad. What the fuck? Said she hates me and I'm not her real dad and she wants a DNA test. I'm like, you're adopted. She's like, I know, I still want the test. I don't think she understands about DNA. County child orders $1,000 worth of Grubhub when playing on his dad's phone. Saw a few kids playing cricket in the park. Maybe didn't have a coin, so for the toss, they launched one of themselves in the air. If he lands butt first, heads. If belly first, tails. He landed sideways, got up, and shared the idea of launching the cricket bat. Blue team won. Parents want me to be healthy as a kid, so they have gummy vitamins and lots of supplements. I asked my mom one a day if I can have one of her women's multivitamins. These are for girls. You can't take them, or else you will grow bubs or something. I wake up in the middle of the night and eat all of the remaining gummies. Instead of becoming a girl, I end up in the hospital and almost fucking die. Parenting is okay, except for every once in a while when my 3-year-old requests ham hands for lunch, which is when she takes 2 handfuls of ham and eats them in the living room while she watches television. My daughter woke up at 5 because of crows outside. She stuck her head outside the window and said, Mum, the bird witches are calling me. And to sum up, I have my next book, and also I need to call a priest. Major casual interference issues in our house at the moment. My 2-year-old thinks coats makes the air colder, so keeps putting hers on when she's too hot. When my daughter was 3, I told her to stop trying to draw on the dog with crayons. She threw the crayon on the floor, looked at me dead in the eye, and yelled, Dad, you're ruining my life. Does anyone know where I can buy a lump of coal? My kid is not naughty. He wrote to Santa he wants a lump of coal for Christmas. I tricked a 4-year-old into not wanting my Nutella by calling it hazelnut butter evil. I accidentally flushed the toilet instead of letting my kid do it, which in the toddler community is a crime punishable by death. So this is why my kids have to hurry up and go back to school. I just brought these chocolate chip cookies and my son ate all of them and had the audacity to place some Cookie Crisp cereal inside after he ate them. When I was 12, I read that if you folded 1,000 origami cranes, you would be granted one wish. I proceeded to fold 114 because I wanted to wish for a Lego set. I'm in the living room and my kid yells at me from the kitchen. Mom, don't look at me. Me, why not? Because I don't want you to see me. Hello, your child says his weekly crossword gets eaten by his dog every week. Is there any way to secure the crossword from the dog's reach? Thank you. 28 girls hospitalized with anxiety after playing with a Ouija board. When I was a kid, like 6, I thought that the reason actors got paid so much was because every time you wanted to watch a movie, they would have to act it out and stream it to you. A kid in my son's class explained to me that she was sure she has 2 mums because he has the pretty mum and the other mum. He described each to me in some detail. Reader, both are me. My kid, looking over my shoulder as I sign an email. You are not a doctor. Me. Yes, I am. What do you think I was studying for all the time when you were little? Oh, I thought he just liked reading books and crying. A fly landed next to him. There's a kid on my nephew's soccer team that thinks he's a dinosaur, so he's just out there screeching and biting other kids on the field. I love my nephew, but I'm only here to watch Velociraptor. Mum, what if they aren't stars? Me. What if they're holes poked in the top so we can breathe? Fuck. My Bible teacher asked the class, what biblical character had a conversation with a donkey, and my little sister answered, Shrek. My kid was upset about being in timeout, so she did the only logical thing her 4-year-old brain could think of, which was to act like a Pikachu, using a thunder attack on me. Then we stared at each other in silence, until she whispered, nothing is working, she's too powerful. My son didn't want to be a tiger or a superhero, he wanted to be a traffic light. Today my son drew in red marker all over his face, then got scared we would be mad, so he tried to hide it by wrapping toilet paper around his head like a mummy. Then he promptedly ran into a wall and nearly knocked himself out unconscious. A comedy of errors every day with this kid. Do you know what's wild? Remembering that children hear things for the first time without context and are literally like, what? I just said, see you later alligator to a 4-year-old, and I think it was the first time they have ever heard that. They froze in their tracks, looked at me completely bewildered, then replied, see you later, chicken, then kept walking. Yesterday in the park, I saw a toddler screaming, bad dog, at a goose, and I can't stop thinking about it. Toddler accidentally orders $1,800 worth of Walmart furniture. The dumbest rumor you've heard about yourself. When I was in middle school, people were saying I was homeschooled, even though I went to the school. I was playing volleyball in the gym with the kids, and this little boy got hit in the head, and I was like, oh geez, you okay dude? And he just said, yeah, I'm real strong, watch this, and punched himself in the face. I told him to be gentle with his brain, and he told me, no, really, it's okay. And I had to physically block him from slamming his forehead into the brick wall. Superman's preschool teachers all deserve a raise. Yesterday morning, after his scooter game, my 6-year-old asked me, how come the other team gets to change the color of their jersey every week, while we always have to wear purple? When I explained that, in fact, we were playing against different teams each week, his mind was blown. Apparently, my 9-year-old nephew wanted permission to make a Facebook account, and my sister was like, no, you're 9. Then he figured out how to make one behind her back, and got caught immediately when he sent her a friend request. What is the cutest mistake you've seen someone ever make? My 12-year-old son called me at work early one evening. He was tranked up with making dinner for his siblings and for me and his mum before we got home. I could hear the frustration in his voice. He was trying to mash the potatoes. Holy cow, Dad. I've never realized how strong Mum was. I can't do it. It took me a minute to think and then said, son, did you cook them all the way? He replied, cook them. When I was maybe 6 or 7, a television channel held a huge competition that led entrants to win a huge bundle of Disney prizes if they phoned in and did their best Tarzan yell. I begged and begged to be allowed to call in, and not only did my mother let me, I actually got through. Problem was, I did not really like Tarzan all that much, and thought that a Lion King roar would be much cooler. A while after arguing, the person answering the phone, I think they gave up on trying to get me to follow the rules, let me do a shitty roar at them, and hung up. I did not win any prizes. I will never forget the time my brother missed the bus and wrote my mum this note. I'm not reading all of this. Everyone has a, I wonder what what would happen if thoughts, but toddlers actually do that. I respect it. 6-year-old boy returns $2,000 he found. I pray my kids aren't this dumb. As a dad, what would you do if your daughter did this? I'll be frustrated at first, then I would say, let's go do mama's car. Went to my girlfriend's house, and her sister is swimming in the fish tank. I wouldn't let David electrocute himself, so I'm the asshole. 7-year-old got Apple AirPods for Christmas, and swallowed one. I just want everyone to know that my 2-year-old insisted on being pants for Halloween. Toddler laughs as 5 firefighters try to free him from a locked car. The absolute madman. My sister just had a baby. She brought her home today, and my other niece was so annoyed. She packed all of her other stuff and tried to leave. LeBron shirt at practice. Vote or die. LeBron, I'm only 12. I can't even vote, dude. And I don't want to die. When you ask a first grader to write letters to people in a nursing home, time's almost up. My little brother learned how to use the water dispenser for our fridge, and my 2 older children were trying to lay out all of their Pokemon cards, but the youngest kept intervening, so they duct taped him to a chair. Kindergartner makes 911 cool after dad drives through red light. I could never disown my child for being gay or active, but if I raise a snitch, they have to pack their stuff and go. Once I was babysitting my neighbor's 6-year-old, and she asked me why I was so ugly, and without thinking I said, I'm you from the future, and she cried for like 30 minutes. Kids imagining what life would be like at 40. I am 40. I have wrinkles and grey hair. I would have a walking stick to help me walk. I am 40. I am turning old. I just left work because I cannot manage going up and down hills. I know I will die. Jeez. Walked in on my kids playing with these. I'm raising a little doctor. Nah, you raising a little serial killer. A child ripped up their allowance because he wasn't happy with the amount. His mum walked out of her room and saw this. What would you do if this was your child's behavior? Keep it and give him a piece of it anytime he asks for money. I wouldn't let her drink the chemicals under the sink. Babysitting. I gave my nephews $5 each. I told them to hold it against the wall with their nose. Whoever dropped first would lose, with the winner getting to keep both. Kept them both busy for 3 hours. Ever since my daughter found out about our plant, Serena wasn't getting enough sunlight. She insists on taking her out for walks while holding her up to the sun. Went through my son's iPad this morning. Paw Patrol. Barney. How to fight my dad. How to hump. I wouldn't let him eat a battery for breakfast. Flower Girl just messed up the wedding. Yeah, that's gotta hurt. My son is 2.5 years old, and this is his favorite book. Today, I noticed something wrong with the soap. I work at a haunted house. One kid I scared started Fortnite dancing in self-defense. Another one called me Zaddy. This little guy told his dad that he wanted to learn how to train his dog, and his dad said there were lots of dog training videos on YouTube, so here he is showing them to the dog. When I grow up, I want to be a dog. Father's Day message. Kids, please don't rush things. We all love you, so always remember that, even when you're dead. My son uses his bed as a toy storage and then sleeps on the floor instead. What's the dumbest rumor you've ever heard about yourself? When I was in middle school, people were saying that I was homeschooled, even though I went to school. When my son Seth was little, he would beg his brother to put him in this particular pillowcase and swing him around. I know it's insane, and the only reason I'm telling you now is because they are grown up and I cannot lose custody of them. I always told people I met Michael Jackson, but now that I found this picture, man, what the fuck? Who the fuck was this? So my 4-year-old nephew asked me to draw him Harry Potter. He then excitedly shouted, I'll do the legs. I remember once I heard the phrase, beat your meat, when I was 12 and heard it felt good, so when I was alone, I punched my nuts as hard as I could, then cried for an hour and threw up on the floor. Keep your toddler busy by letting them paint the fence with water. If your son traded a Nintendo Switch for a fidget spinner today, please message me. So my dad comes in and tells me he's decided to take a look at my 8-year-old's little brother's search history on his iPad. Barbecue sauce on titties. I just learned the F word is fuck, a legend. Dear diary, bish. I would try reading this, but I actually can't. My kid just discovered you can photocopy anything, and now he's trying to prank me. For revenge, photocopy his dinner. A woman put on this dress when she cleans her house, and the reason is that she told her 2 children, who are terrified of her, that this leopard woman is visiting our house to clean. If you don't make the house dirty, she won't have to come back. When I was 8, I got lost at the mall and started crying because I couldn't find my mum, so then a security guard came to help me, but I punched him in the nuts as hard as I could because stranger danger, and that dude still had to help me find my mum. I think about him a lot. When I was 8, I had an older YouTube channel with like 3 subscribers. Once I hit 5, I was going to do a fan meetup, and I put my actual address in the description of the video. My daughter had a complete existential breakdown one day when she found out that she was going to have to pee every day of her life. Wait until she finds out she dies. Dad shaves beard for the first time. Yeah, he's crying. She's using 100% of her brain. Not all kids are stupid. Today I saw a kid at the supermarket, which suddenly started staring at me. Realizing I only have one hand and ran away shouting, "Mom, the zombies are coming." My 7-year-old told me that Jeremy gives her all the answers at school. As the conversation went on, I found that Jeremy is her brain. She named her brain Jeremy. The story behind this picture has me rolling. So there was this episode of Hannah Montana where Jackson pretended he lost his memory. In the 2nd grade, wanted to do it too. I had slipped and fell in the bathroom at school. Then I told my friends I couldn't remember anything. They told the teacher, then I went to the nurse, then I went to the hospital. They were doing hella tests on me. Whole time I'm faking it. I thought my kids were doing their schoolwork. They weren't. They combed my hairy cat and put the fur onto my hairless cat. 5 days left of school here. Thank goodness. When I was 5, I asked my mom why some people were different colors, and she said, because God wanted lots of flavors. And let me tell you, that was the wrong thing to say, because for the next 3 years, I thought God ate people when they died. My son got his car stuck in the snow, and he called it a piece of shit. Bedtime was half an hour ago. My 6-year-old just walked out, blurry-eyed, and asked his father if a duck is a predator. Some things are too important to go to bed without knowing. Thinking about in 7th grade, when I got escorted to the police station after school because they found out I was prank calling local businesses as Ricky Peepee. And when I walked in, the officer who was waiting with my mum to talk to me said, "If it isn't Ricky Peepee, I know there are no dumb questions, but what is the dumbest question someone has ever asked you?" My son saw my pictures of my 5th birthday party and asked why I didn't invite him. Mom uses cardboard cutout of herself to stop kid crying when she leaves room. When I was little, my dad made me believe I could use the bathroom for him. Before going on trips or something, he would say, "Hey, I need to use the bathroom, but I'm busy. Can you go for me?" After I used the bathroom, he'd say thank you. Today my 3-year-old niece cried because she remembered she hit her leg somewhere 3 days ago. She said she forgot to cry about her leg that day. My kid has been very picky lately, but loves Taco Bell, so I made a homemade meal, and I put it in an old Taco Bell bag, and it actually worked. I think I was 7. I was misbehaving at dinner, so my parents sent me to my room. I was dramatic as hell and cried out of my window to the whole neighborhood. Then the window screen broke, and I fell 2 stories. I got up and rang the doorbell to tell my parents I fell out of the window. Daughter didn't want sunscreen, so I put her outside and yelled, "Son, get her," and now she's flipping out. I don't know what just happened, but I was at the animal shelter before work, and a toddler walked in and pointed at me and went, "I want that one," and his mom just looked at me and said, "You can't have that one. That's a grown man. Package left, front door. Your camera thinks it saw a package delivered." My 11-year-old son made a nail gun with his friend using a Nerf gun. Apparently it works quite well. "Oh, you spent $8,000 to take your kids to Disney?" My son watched the garbage truck empty our trash 20 minutes ago, and he's still talking about it. 4-year-old orders 918 SpongeBob popsicles on Amazon for $2,600. My niece turned 3 today. She asked for a Lion King cake, but specifically the moment where Mufasa dies, because everyone will be too sad to eat the cake, and it will be all for me. Took my 3-year-old fishing. He's a natural. What's the dumbest beliefs you had as a child? When I was 5, I swore that bird seeds grew birds, thus the name. When my parents asked me to prove it to them, I planted a pile of bird seed. The next day, there were loads of birds where I planted the seeds, showing I was right. Super excited about my 2-year-old telling me he hears Nana living in the walls. Oh cool, he's saying hi to her. This dad teaching his son how to do a snow angel. Gotta be the cutest thing. Don't say you want a Lego tower building contest if you can't handle losing. Needed a 2-minute break from my kids, and they tried breaking into my room. Why does he have a knife? I killed a bug in the laundry room. Apparently it was her best friend. PS5 in for a HDMI replacement. Kid said, I pushed the cable in a little too hard. My son has recently informed me that the wall people, who always have their eyes open, don't like us anymore. Just curious if anyone is free tonight to help me move out. Me. Yes, you were in my belly. 3-year-old. Why? Tears in her eyes. Why did you eat me? My child is desperately wiggling a loose tooth so she can force Santa and the Tooth Fairy to meet and fight. Someone get their kid. OMG. I just joined my nephew's IG live and he goes, "That's my gay uncle, everyone." I don't know why he feels the constant need to tell everyone. Wait, I read that so wrong. Dear parents, we've been made aware of a 1st grader who brought some of his parents' money to school last week and was handing it out to other 1st graders. The money was mostly in $100 bills, but there were also some 20s and some 1s. If any of your kids brought home some expected money last week, could you please let us know? This kid's Mr. Beast. I tried to be nice and gave this little kid $20 for orange juice and his orange juice stand, and he called me stupid because it only costs $1. Damn, my life. I'm looking for a girlfriend that is 9, 10, or 11 or 12. I hope this is a stupid kid. Almost 2-year-old for sale. Been crying for 10 minutes because he can't get in the oven with the cornbread. Entertaining. All offers. Puncturing myself in the balls until I'm famous. Christmas, Day 3. My 7-year-old son's brilliant way to never lose the only keys he has for his lock told my kids they were allowed to hit each other once per day, so they should really think it through and not waste their one hit, and now they're calmly discussing when might be the best time to hit each other, but the actual hitting has stopped. I'm a genius. Someone farted in class the other day, and a kid accused me of doing it. I told them I don't fart in class, and that if I did, I would go out in the hallway. Now, anytime I leave the class, they ask, "Are you going out to fart?" I'm dead. Mum, can you order pizza? Yes, in a meeting. Can when I'm done. Thanks, Mum. Thank you for always using your money to help me, and all the hard work you put into the family. Thank you. Did you order it? When I was 7, I said that I wanted to be emo. My mum told me that emos pull off their toenails. Later that night, I wrapped my feet in blankets in fear that the emos would come out from under my bed and pull my toenails off. I've had that fear ever since. You can tell a little kid anything, and if you act excited, they will too. I made my bed and found a half-eaten stick of butter in it. When I asked my child if she put anything in mummy's bed, she said, "I did not put butter in it." The mystery continues. A little kid came up to the ice cream truck today holding a $5 in one hand and a cool leaf in the other. She asked for a bomb pop, and I said, "Okay, that will be 1 leaf please." And she said, "No," and handed me the $5. Children running in museum. Knock over 50,000 pound glass sculpture of Disney Castle. Good. I, 25, told my brother, 7, that I used to play Animal Crossing on my Nintendo DS before there was a Switch, and he asked if it was in black and white. Graham, give the phone to Dad. No. Asked my son to box up his leftover mac and cheese at the restaurant, and he put the entire bowl in there. I'm not sure if he's an idiot or a genius. He's a genius. Children are the best fundraisers because they don't understand economics. Principal, the student who raises $500 for the school will get this free hat. 12-year-old me. That is such a great deal. Redditor with toddlers. What's the most recent illogical breakdown they've had? He loved being tickled, so I was tickling him one day. He let out a huge fart and suddenly started crying and screaming. I asked him why he's screaming, and he replies with, "I was saving that for later." How and why would you save a fart? I had to work overnight last night, and while taking a nap today, I was vandalized. I have a picture and have detained the 2 suspects, but one is not cooperating. The only one who can speak blames it on the 4-legged suspect who has no hands to pull off such a stunt. Thanks to my neighbor for pointing out that I have marker all over my face when I took the 4-legged suspect out for a walk before I realized that I was vandalized.